Well, I hope this works. I've just updated OBS, so I'm not entirely sure whether everything's going as we want it to. It looks a bit scary now, the way that they've got the audio UI set up, but it's got more detail, which is kind of nice, so I suppose that's something, right? So yeah, hello everybody, welcome. Oh my god, we've got quite a few people here already. That's the fastest I've had several messages within, what is that, 20 seconds of being live? Hi guys, how's it going? Hey Rain, Pumpkin, hey Yggdrasil, Elacora, Bacon's All Mine, Peel Off, Redux32, Rim1, Richie P, Dosty. Hey guys, it's good to see you all. Yeah, today we're back to a bit of Merciless. Lots going on my end. If you've been following my Twitter, you will be aware. I mean, really, the last stream I did, I talked about this anyway, a big milestone had been passed. I have officially announced to people that all of the top 35... well, we'll talk about that in a second. Basically, the winners of the competition have been finalized now. They've been sent off to legendary Welk, who's off working on the website. And the project is almost over. So I really can't wait for it to be over. It's such a load off of my mind. Hopefully, it will address some of the vague depression that I've been in for the past quarter. And, yeah, it should be pretty good. So, quite a few things to talk about. Now, one big thing is there were only going to be 25 prizes. But there were too many videos that I felt terrible not giving anything. So, I've expanded it to 25 places. I've added another 10 prizes to it. And it's basically, if you fall in the 25th to 35th bracket, you win 50G. So there's 10 extra people winning stuff, and it's 50G each. And I don't know. I've got, so that's 500 gold, which I've already got on my account. And if later I need, you know, I'm happy to distribute that. But if later I need a bit more money or something, I can just spend gems and get more or something, I don't know. But that also kind of helps because the cap on the mailing limit per week is 500G anyway, so I can send exactly that amount out to another 10 places. So I expanded it to 35. There's even more than that I really wanted to get prizes, but I had to end it somewhere. So yeah, anyway, yeah, it should be pretty good. I'm actually going to be making a montage video, like a mini trailer of my own, essentially, that is a supercut, and it will be compact. It will be like 4, 5, 6 minutes. But a supercut, it would just be a mix of all the winning entries, or a selection of the winning entries in kind of a trailer showing off, you know, best bits and stuff for people. So when I do my video announcing the winners, it will kick off with a montage celebrating the entire competition through everyone else's entries, which will be good. And one of the reasons I haven't got so as the project's winding up, I want to get it done, right? But one of the reasons that's not out yet is I've got to download all of the winning entries, and then before I can even make the montage, and the software I used to download is really slow today. So I'm pretty mad, honestly. I've basically been sat around watching download bars for the past 5 to 6 hours. Now, it's not all that bad because I can have Reddit on while I'm sitting there. And I've been listening to a lot of music I haven't heard for a while and just, you know, reading random things. But still, it's a bit frustrating. I wanted the montage done by the time the stream was up. But yeah, what I'm going to do is a video that announces the winners. It's going to have the montage thing in it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you anecdotes about the competition and about what it meant to me and, you know, how I've, you know, just various thoughts and feelings about it. But I'm not going to go into specific details as to the reasoning why X got first place, Y got second place, Z got third place, you know, D got 25th and blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to do that, but just because I feel I'm a bit stressed out by it. I'm a bit worried that I'm gonna get all this like criticism thrown at me over it. But what I will do is in the video where I announce the winners, which will only have kind of light anecdotes really, what I will do is announce to people that the next stream after that video, that stream I will dedicate to competition discussion and watching the entries a bit more in depth with you guys live and fielding questions about the various entries and what people thought of them and so forth. So if people do want to pry a little bit deeper, we can do it on a stream which comparatively to YouTube, nobody watches, right? So I don't have to be so scared of a stream. And, you know, it's that live format. So if somebody attacks me over something, I can actually respond and, you know, we can turn it into a discussion instead of it being a sort of a very black and white binary thing that YouTube discussions often are. So yeah, I think it'll be really cool. I'm very excited to show it all to you. And yeah. So yeah, anyway, that's one of the big things. What else has been going on? There's a narrow window of things I can talk about. I guess for Guild Wars, I don't know. I've been playing a little bit more. We did that bonus Mesmer stream. I heard a couple of people were criticizing my Mesmer build. Not my build, really. But when I was talking about the sigils, I said the sigils weren't very good when I was doing it. But, you know, I should have mentioned one of the stronger things you can do is double energy. I don't know. There was just some minor discussion over that during the week. I did some more of the current events Awaken stuff. I don't know. Yeah. And I guess in my free time, I've still been playing Stellaris. So anyway, there you go. That's a bit of a catch-up. I don't know why we just did a massive catch-up there. Today we're going to do some Merciless, though. Today we're going to chat about some cool stuff. Hopefully we're going to have some fun together. And for the first stream in like 2 weeks, I really want some coffee right now. I've already pre-ground the beans as well. I did it before clicking the go live button and updating OBS. So this should be pretty cool. I'm going to go make myself a cup of coffee. We'll have the full intro. I shouldn't be too long. Hopefully you guys go enjoy it. There is the new coffee emote. It would be cool if some people threw it out there. And we have another new emote today as well, which Welk managed to squeeze in. It's Tato Mad. All right. So there, it has been approved already. So it's Tato Mad. That's what it looks like. That is for you guys to spam whenever you're angry with me, I guess. So if you donate and I miss it, if I'm mean to you, if I'm condescending, that's a good one, you know. If we do a fastest finger vote and I miss you, or I deliberately change the rules to jip you out of it, Dosty. You know, any of these situations, you got a nice happy emote there, which you have an angry potato. Speaking of potatoes, let's change this one as well here for a second. There you go. So look, Bacon's on mine is angry about wanting coffee right now, would be my guess. Okay, so here's our Heisenberg potato. Boom. Well, he's not really... Actually, do you know what? I think of this as fat nerd potato. I think of this is a potato sort of representing... you know, the guy in Jurassic Park that like the IT nerd that has the login screen thing. That's what I think of this potato as. Yeah, if something's rigged, definitely. If something's rigged, that's a good one as well. Is this where you rant about something for 20 minutes and miss everything in chat? No, we have a different emote for that. Come on, and that's Tato Rant, man. Come on, look. I mean, you could combine the two now. I mean, this is what's so amazing about Twitch. This is why everyone's on Twitch now, right? Because you get such customization options as being mad about coffee or being mad about rants. So you can go for that. What music video is on my face cam? That's Liss Artar. So we already told that story quite recently. That's Liss Artar, though. You can search that on YouTube. It is mostly good. Just it's just, you know, churned out lowest common denominator BS music that was very typical for the early 2000s. This is like a 2012 2013 track or something, and obviously you just put a sexy lady with bright pink makeup on and lipstick on, sorry, put her in scantily dressed, and everyone will want to watch it. It was because I want to get a new character slot, but I don't have enough gold, so it doesn't mind if it's short or long-term methods, but I've never done fractals, says Sandwatch. Kind of like the guy from that WoW South Park episode. Yeah, I guess a bit like him. It's weird, I was just watching some South Park stuff. I've been watching, as I've been waiting for these downloads, I've been watching, because there's a Reddit thread on it at the moment, of big, really good ending episodes to TV series. And so I was sort of binging on a few. I was watching, like, the end of Deep Space Nine again. I watched the end of TNG with Picard sitting down at the poker table and saying, oh, he should have sat with the crew all the time. I watched I watched 6 Feet Under as well, which is not a show I've seen, but I watched it. But I saw the Scrubs one. Now, what's really interesting about the Scrubs one is it's got that pretty cheesy but lovely song, Peter Gabriel, The Book of Love. You guys have probably heard it, right? But if you've never seen Scrubs, or if you have seen Scrubs and you can't remember the ending, there's kind of one of the main characters has a vision of the future and what he imagines it could be like. And it plays this song, Peter Gabriel, The Book of Love, and it's a really great track. So I just looked at that YouTube video, just listened to the song in its own, and it was, you mentioned South Park there. It's hilarious because in the comments, half the people were saying, oh, I love this song because of the Scrubs finale, and the other half of people were pointing out that Matt Stone and Trey Parker, they're the creators of South Park, did an episode of that show where basically they'd realized there was a big fandom about 2 minor characters in South Park, 2 of the little boys at school, Craig and Tweak, right? And there was this big fandom, yaoi, right? Like loving like anime art, right? That just portrayed that, shipped them in a gay relationship, just 2 random schoolboys, and there was all this weird bizarre art about them being in love, and the creators of South Park saw all this weird bizarre fan fiction and fan art of these 2 minor characters that were supposedly in a gay relationship, despite the fact the show had never ever suggested they had anything between them. The creators of the show saw all this bizarre fandom, this yaoi, and I think that's how you say it, right? And showing my ignorance here. And they did an episode. They did an actual proper episode of South Park where members of the town started doing this as well. And they started showing that the fandom's actual artwork in the episode. Anyway, it's a really cool episode because basically at the end, these little kids are like, everyone wants to feel progressive and everyone wants to like be okay with the gay relationship, so they sort of force it on the boys even though they're straight and they don't actually care about one another. So basically they just enter this like fake relationship just for the sake of making everyone else happy. Anyway, all of this is to say, at the end of the South Park episode, they do this hilarious montage of these boys like struggling with this weird situation, and they play Peter Gabriel, The Book of Love in the background, and it's a hilarious scene. It's from like season 19. I had seen it when it came out, but I'd totally forgotten about it. And maybe 20 minutes before this stream, I was watching that part of that South Park episode, and there you are mentioning it there. I would recommend you guys look at that maybe during the intro. All right, there you go. That's our random, inane nonsense about bollocks and anecdotes of me. I'm going to be a great old man. I'm going to have, like, the worst, most meandering, nonsense, boring stories that never go anywhere. And people are going to love it. In the meantime, though, we'll be playing a bit of Merciless. I'll see you guys very soon. Go get your coffee. All right. Hello, hello, hello. 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 All right, yeah, I'm here. I'm just trying to change the audio so that you guys can hear it. Should be that. There we go. All right, hi guys. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Lots of people enjoying the music today. What's going on there? I'm not quite sure what spurred that on. But yes, is this Path of Fire music? Ask Guild Stab. Dusty already set you right in chat. But yeah, it is. It is from the Path of Fire soundtrack. I got it basically because it was extracted directly from the client. So I don't actually know where it plays in game or like under what precise circumstance. But it is a part of Path of Fire. I think it's rare, but it's very fitting, isn't it? It embodies the challenge, I think, quite well, and I don't know. I think it hits all the beats that I wanted it to when I was making that intro. Someone else asking where I got this launcher from. Who was that? That was earlier, wasn't it? Right as I left. Hey, what launcher is this? Says Wormling. It's just a video file. Basically, what it is it's a Path of Fire inspired version of the original login screen from way back when in the Guild Wars 2 betas, which we can't see at all anymore, but it's Path of Fire variant, and then it's an additional iteration on top where I've sort of tweaked it for Merciless and made it sort of dark and stuff. But I've always on my streams opened them with that just because I think it's quite nice and a quite cool way to open the stream. So yeah, there's not really too much more in it than that. However, if you want that as a launcher, I suggest you go to Google and type in Guild Wars 2 Launch Buddy. Launch Buddy is a very cool tool that gives you easy access to a lot of developer-allowed options for launching your client that most players are unfamiliar with, which is pretty good. It can help you log into the game even when you're having internet issues. It can manage you having multiple accounts. It can multi-box for you, all perfectly above board, TOS compliant stuff. And one component of Launch Buddy is you can have your own custom login screen if you like, and it could be what you see here on the stream if you really want it. It's you know, it's your PC, it's your life. You can do it. So yeah, it's all available. 80-inch screen stream, bitches. Malfunction. You're watching this on an 80-inch screen. How far away are you sitting? That's crazy. Goldstab says it sounds like a story instance or maybe somewhere in Domain of Abby to me. Yeah, I think it is a precise part of the story. People have told me where it is before. I just, you know, it goes in one ear and out the other. So yeah. Also, someone said, wait, what was it? It was earlier. I thought you were insecure about getting old, says Dusty. Yeah, but that doesn't mean that outwardly I wouldn't look like a cool old man, you know. Just because inside I'm tortured by my wasted life, it doesn't mean that, you know, to look at me, people might not be like, that's a cool old guy, all right? So there you go. Hello, Nashmag, welcome. JohnMan42, welcome, welcome, welcome. Some people were talking about fractals. This reminds me of the Stalker Oblivion mod. A Stalker Oblivion mod? I don't know what mod that is that you're talking about. If I know the modding scene of any Elder Scrolls game, it's the Oblivion one. So I'm not quite sure what you're talking about there. Warden Adian just had to go immediately back to work. You're working 7 days a week? Is that legal? Jesus. Is it legal to work that many days in a row? Or is the actual law just you need a certain amount of hours away from the workplace between shifts, right? Something like that. So yeah, nice music. It does create a nice atmosphere, and then WP comes and ruins it by talking about PvP for an hour. No, I won't really be talking about PvP much today because we did a bonus stream during the week where, you know, I played a little bit with you guys and we got to have our fun. We got it out of our system a little bit there. I am slowly on a downward trend with PvP at the moment. I've been playing it a lot less lately. Mostly Stellaris. When it comes to free time, Stellaris is what I'm playing more now. Gribble Girl says being old is cool, WP, honestly. Oh, I don't know whether I believe that. I mean, I'd like to believe that. I mean, you get a lot of time to get used to it, right? So I'm sure that people... I do believe that the older you are, the more emotionally stable you are. Just because you have such a vast body of experience that sort of you get numb to everything. And that numbness is both good and bad, right? It's bad in that I don't think you're... Yeah, it's sort of like... well, how can I describe this? I don't know, you're numb to the positive emotions and positive experiences, but you're also more numb to disasters and, you know, unfortunate happenstance that comes your way. Anyway, 12 hours between shift times. There you go. There you go. Hey WP, how you doing? Says Nosh. I'm doing good, man. It's been an alright day. My mood is lifting now that I can see the light at the end of the tunnel with the competition, so it's pretty cool. I hope you're doing good too. This rant sounds like a Linkin Park song. What rant? I'm not ranting. This is just conversation. What? About 5 million live... Wait, what? Oh, you're about 5 meters away from the massive screen. You are in a converted barn and playing me out of a projector. Dude, that is cool. That is very, very, very cool. When I used to study film, it was all on like these big-ass, expensive, super high-resolution projectors that we'd watch all the movies on and things. You're not numb to out, honestly. I've just enjoyed the 15 years after being 30. Well, if you're only 45, I wouldn't actually call you old in the slightest. I'd say you're squarely middle-aged right now. I reckon you've got another 15 years before you can start saying you're leaving middle-aged. To me, anyway. Old age to me is like 65 plus. It depends though. It depends how healthy you are. Because some 60-year-olds are really deteriorated and not doing good. But that's because they've drunk themselves into stupors for years on end. Or they've, you know, eaten unhealthily. Or they've not had any kind of exercise. And they've destroyed their backs and their hips and stuff. But generally speaking, I think if you live a healthy life, you're not old, really. Not until like 65. And I'm going to keep pushing that threshold the older I get. Just so that I can continue justifying to myself the idea that I'm not even halfway there yet. When am I doing a second competition? Never. There will never be another competition like this. Never. There is no world, no way, no how that I can possibly justify all the time I've taken away from YouTube over this. And there's just zero. Zero, 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 zero. It's something I'm proud of having done. Well, I can't even talk like I'm done yet. I've got to figure out prize distribution, and I've got to work out the timing of the launching of the results along with the video. I've got to actually make it and certain other things. So it's still not done. But, you know, when we are at that point, it will be something I underscore. I say, look, this was a cool thing. I'm proud I did it. It's another, you know, aspect of this kind of lifestyle that I've tried out. And it will just be sort of one for the, I would say CV, but you get what I mean, right? Lily Bloom says, okay, good. I'm okay at 60 then. Yeah, like, honestly, as long as you're healthy, Lily. You thought they were playing on a 63-inch screen. My goodness. My goodness. You drink yourself to sleep every day, says Dusty. Well, as long as you've not, that's not, you know, 30 years of it, you can probably get out and it's fine. What's that thing like? No cell in your body is older than 7 years or something like that? So you can take some solace in that, no matter how bad things are. Generally speaking, you got another 7 years, you can almost fully detox from whatever you're experiencing. I mean, when it comes to psychological aspects of addiction and long-term substance abuse and stuff, maybe. Well, this is all a bit heavy. This is all, let's move on. I ate 2 pizzas last night. Damn it, WP, don't make me feel bad. 2 pizzas, man. Were they big pizzas? What was on them? I wouldn't judge, man. I wouldn't judge. That's perfectly all right in my book. What were your 2 pizzas? I'm quite curious, though. I mean, 2 is pretty excessive, but it depends. If they were, like, really thin crust, like, small, like, personal little things, I don't think that's a big problem. If they're 2, like, deep dish Chicago style... It's Chicago, right? They do the deep dish, right? Isn't that it? You know, enormous... You know, meat feast related ones. Maybe it's not so bad. With a barbecue base instead of tomato. Royals had 9 pizzas this week, maybe more. Guys, you're kind of playing into the stereotype of us all being overweight MMO nerds. Just saying. Nosh says, I really like this emote. Oh, dude, you're typing in that way that people do with the claps, you know? You got to type in all caps and do a clap between every word. Like the written equivalent of getting right in someone's face. 4 fried chicken and a Coke and some dried wheat toast. Wheat toast? What? Isn't all toast wheat toast? I don't understand. Dusty says putting pineapple on a pizza is a sin. That means he goes on the blacklist now. Sorry, dude, but we are pineapple on pizza people here, and we don't allow your kind. Get out. Playing into stereotype, embrace it. We are who we are. I eat half a pizza for lunch at my work most days. Oh, dude, actually, I've worked at a place where there was extremely cheap, really amazing pizza nearby. And oh, dear, that was not good. The time I was at that place, I was gaining pounds quick. Because it was just the social thing to do to go there. Everyone would go there. Not smart. Pineapple on pizza is good. I mean, I actually, to be honest with you guys, I'm a bit bored of the whole internet. Let's talk about pineapple on pizza or not. You know, I was kind of over that a few years ago. But I guess it's still a funny topic to go into. Anyway, let's play this game. What is this? What is this? Guild Wars 2? I don't know. I don't know much about this. But I guess we'll see how we feel. It might be alright. We'll give it a couple of streams. Alright? Oh, we are already maxed out. Why does his armor look so low res then? We'll give it a couple of streams, and if we're not enjoying it, we'll obviously go back to playing H1Z1 and all that lot. And whatever the big current thing is, as you all expect from my streams. Hey, Rav, it's good to see you, dude. How about Tide Pods on pizza? Yeah, I didn't realize this. This is some, like, overblown thing where a couple of people did isn't it like laundry detergent? I don't really know what it is, right? But aren't they like, it's launched in someone ate one and called it a challenge? I've been led to believe that not many people actually ever did that, but there's sort of a big furor over it, suggesting that it's more of an occurrence than it actually is. Still a bit stupid, but there you go. That's the internet. I found something really cool out, by the way. When you have the Chukun Champawat Tigers, they work on infinite tonics, even though other back pieces don't. So check it out. We actually get a kitty on our back as a watch knight. I think that's really cool. And it actually, like, its paws sort of connect to us really convincingly, too. So I kind of want to get the Chukun Champawat. Oh, I've already got it. I've got the... So our Merciless characters can put tigers on their back if we want. And it works with any of them. It works with, like, Kodan. You get a tiger on your back, see? I mean, he's clipping in us a little bit, but he's there. Also, by the way, I love the way the Kodan look when they're shooting the rifle. Like these hip shots. It's so good. I mean, the skill is literally called hip shot, but I mean, even if you use a blunderbuss and stuff. So yeah, I don't know. Anyway, I came onto this character here just so that I could unbind this. And unbind this. And voila. And yeah, now we'll go on to Magic Booty Sacks. Another awful name. And we'll get in there. We'll see how we go. Sorry, it was a quote from Blues Brothers Jake. I want 4 fried chickens and a Coke. Elwood and some dry white toast, please. Oh, I see. Oh, white, not wheat. White. Did I just read that wrong? Like I'm a moron. Have I checked out Subnautica? I think you'd really dig it. My girlfriend's super into Subnautica. She really enjoyed it. And I have seen the trailer that came out. It does look really good. I'm quite impressed with what they did. And, you know, all the best to that game. Did you know that was a 2014 release? I can't believe it's so long ago already. But, you know, that's sort of the dream success story for an indie studio, I think. You know, work hard at it, keep doing the little updates as your funding can go, and then have your big release many years later. Like, let me rephrase that. Not a perfect success story necessarily for indie devs, but because I mean Minecraft is the answer to that really. But just sort of a great answer to early access. Early access done well. Early access. Proof that early access won't kill all of your marketing and all of your hype, that years later you can have your full release and you can get a massive, you know, media storm about it at the same time and get lots of players back and stuff. I think it's really, really beautiful, actually. I think it is cool. Apparently it's a really tense and scary game as well, in amongst its beautiful moments. Do you remember in Spud Chat you thought someone got a pre from PvP? I don't really remember that, no. It wasn't from PvP, but I did get Spark from Palawadun. I then finished and made Incinerator 2 days ago, my first legendary. DJ Easy, that's badass of you. Congratulations. And if I remember from a previous stream, you said you haven't even been playing that long, so that's really badass. And Incinerator first, that was my first 2. I popped my legendary cherry on the Incinerator, so yeah, we're kind of, what is that? Wiener cousins, isn't it? But legendary Wiener cousins. I don't know. You go what? You get the sentiment. But yeah. I think they're American brand of Ariel, but there's this big meme. Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah, it's people eating them, isn't it? Why do people care what people put in their mouths anyway? I don't see guys complaining when their SOs decide to put genitals in their mouths. What? What are you talking about? We're literally talking about people eating laundry detergent. It's a little bit different to fellatio. I was totally obsessed with it last week and I rushed through the entire game. Really amazing quality. See, I think it's a very different experience now because there's voice acting and a proper story and stuff. Which I think is an interesting direction to go because it's an extremely sandboxy game, if I remember. And they were only, when I was last hearing a lot about it, they were only just adding disparate threads of a story through these PDAs, text that you could read, right? Genitals in your mouth won't kill you, ... maybe. No, but it means you're going to go to hell, guys, so don't do it. Every day we stray further from God's light. Soon, wooden potatoes. I get your binding of Ipos yet? No, because I've not been playing so much Guild Wars. I was really into the idea when I was really into Fresh Air Weaver, but I kind of, I think I've sort of got that out of my system now. And so now I'm not really playing any build that uses focus in a very large way. So I really do want to do an Elementalist that looks like a Necro, though. I don't know why. That just sort of seems exciting to me. So I am into the idea. I just, I don't know. I might need a bit of time to look back at it. And I don't really have any money anyway at the moment. Not really. I mean, I've got some. This 500 gold. This is 500 PvP gold. But this is all going on another 10 competition entrants, right? So... I don't know. If I cannibalized a lot of stuff in my bags and my banks, maybe I could find something, but I don't know. I just made the torch, the Flames of War. I just made it. And I bought a really expensive home instance node, so I've sort of pissed a ton of money away at the moment. Plus this 500 on top. And again, people don't believe it about me. They love to think of me as something else. I don't play this game that much. I really don't. I know a lot about the game, but that's because of, you know, 7 years. It doesn't mean in the short term lately I've been playing it too much. I mean, I have been playing a lot lately. I've been playing a lot of PvP, but these past, like, 4 or 5 days, not so much. Alright, so we're going to join an order now. We did do the vote, right? Yeah, we did. What did we get, though? What? I can't remember what our vote was on. Was it just this specialization? Was this what we got? I seem to remember getting this Grandmaster, which gave us mental defense, which gives us the free Phantasmal Defender whenever we block or evade, which is cool. That could give us the freedom to swap this. Weren't we going to do a new classification of utilities? How many points? We got 5. So we can't really go that far with it. Yeah, well, we don't have enough points to do anything, so I guess I'll ignore that for now. Hopefully you guys don't find the music's too loud, by the way. You made your bolt from your Christmas present of Zap Wolfs, who got me watching your channel. Sorry, the Cribble Girl. I sort of don't understand that. Wait, what? I made my bolt from my Christmas present of Zap Wolfs, who got me watching your channel. Because I was flashed with all that PvP dollar. Yeah, I mean, PvP is insane money. Like, the community really needs to cotton onto this. You know, I think I've been thinking a lot about the problems with PvP and what it really needs to start snowballing upwards. And one of the big issues really with it at the moment is the devs made a decision to infuse a population, but I think it was almost like a fatal decision in some ways, in that they made gains in some areas but losses in others. And I'm not going to articulate this phenomenon very well to you all here, but essentially it's sort of like when they added a ton of money to PvP, that was great to get people outside of PvE to try PvP, but it means that it's very rare for a PvPer to care about rewards in Guild Wars 2 because they have anything and everything they want anyway because they're so flush with cash. And there's just very little integration there. If you take other games, like the currencies you earn while PvPing in those games, you care to a certain extent. But in Guild Wars 2, you don't, because because and it's in the interests of keeping everything flat and even. Like, it's a very, very interesting phenomenon that's going on with that side of the game. Anyway, I'll shut up about it because I'm not going to be articulate enough to really lay on the line what I mean by all of that. But anyway, we just had a duck as well. Let me actually have a look here. It's Lily. How can you say you have no money when I donate so much? Ugh, some people ... Well, a fiver, it doesn't turn into Guild Wars money, does it? A fiver 3 days a week. And I mean, £15 a week is lovely, and I don't want to put you down or anything. And sometimes you go a bit more, but it's also, you know, even if it did go into Guild Wars money, I'm not quite sure how much that would be. I haven't really done the maths. Maybe it'd be quite a lot, actually. Who knows? Anyway, thank you very much. I'm sorry. I barely even responded to the fact you did just give me another donation, and thank you very, very much, Lily. That's very sweet of you. Also, Glassy Ducky subbed earlier. Love the emote, and I'm surprised I'm having trouble with the collapsed observatory, JP. Well, you can mount in that, JP, now, I think. Which is kind of interesting. All right, you guys get a choice. Priory or Vigil. Priory or Vigil. If you remember, the Vigil option here is extremely difficult. Probably. For the Mesmer, I would say, yeah, very, very, very tough. This will be a real challenge. Could be the death of the Mesmer instantly. Priory was easier, if I remember correctly. I can't actually fully remember. But yeah, so Priory or Vigil, second fastest finger first with the code 45. Priory or Vigil, 45 is the code. Good luck, guys. Good luck. Sorry, people got upset after rightfully changed the PvP armor to be not so easy to get. Yeah, I mean, it is a very weird balance, the way that PvP rewards are working in this game at the moment. What the fuck was that little girl gif on the screen? Sorry, what? There was a little girl gif on the screen? When? Donations enable WP to actually live and not spend on Guild Wars money. Well, yeah, basically, that would go on groceries and stuff. Just like Patreon does. You've paid for all of my legendaries. I always enjoyed watching your YouTube videos. Always well done. Thank you for sharing them. Thanks very much, Winterleaf. I hope to get back to them very soon as well. So that should be cool. Hopefully I'll have a very cool special one for you. Okay, so second fastest finger was... Lily got the code wrong. So I will skip Lily. Which means the first one was Weekly, who said Priory. And the second was Dusty. Congratulations, Dusty. You got it. Priory. So Priory 45. Alright, I want to know where the dredge are headed there.
Who chooses sentry duty over taking the fight to the enemy?
Wow, this guy's a proper bellend. Bro.
I approve of the Slayer's approach.
I approve of the Slayer's approach. I don't know why I'm voicing them like Asura there, but there you go. Hey, Reg. I just did level 40 story on my own. Human, Vigil, Merciless, Mesmer. Lots of fun so far. Really, you're enjoying the Mesmer side of the challenge. How do you think that compares to other attempts? Whenever you get a donation GIF appears on your screen, I thought it was your doing. No, it should just be a picture of some potatoes or a duck. Is there really a little girl GIF that's appearing on my stream? Really? The thing is, I usually miss what actually appears on stream because I don't really look at OBS while I'm going. I mostly just look at stream labels, which gives me sort of an overview of what's happening. Is there really a little girl? What do you mean? Have I been hacked? Oh, when you donate, you can pick a GIF now. Can you? Oh, people can pick GIFs to show up? Oh. I didn't know that. This time you picked a little girl, says Lily. Oh, really? When did that update become? I just don't know. I'm so bad at my job. I'm so bad. Is this my job? Is streaming my job? I don't know whether I still count it, really. This is very weird, though. It's a weeb thing. Okay, well, there you go. I mean, I don't really understand that side of the internet very well, but there you go. If Lily's going to donate, she's welcome to, you know, drop any kind of picture they like. As long as it's not going to get me banned. I mean, it's from a selection, right? You're not just going to Google. It's not just giving randoms the freedom to put any kind of content visually on the stream, is it? I mean, it must be from a pre-selected... I haven't tried on any other professions yet, but the level 10 story finale was great. I got a level 10 greatsword from the instance just before the finale, and it absolutely destroyed everything. And staff's been really useful. Staff, really? I'm surprised it's staff. If you could get a good range of condies, I can imagine the warlocks hitting really hard on like an illusions build. But I love this bridge. The lighting of this bridge and the colors. I think it's so good looking. I don't know. The shadows just really stark. It's a nice contrast there. I told you that Woof's the fab lady who got me watching your channel made me zap for Christmas. I've made Bolt from it now. I understand. Congratulations on your Bolt. Will you become full-time streamer if YouTube continues its downward spiral? There are various things in my life that sort of mean I can't be a full-time streamer at the moment. I'm not sure. There are certain things in what I really like is creating a body of work with what I do, and Twitch kind of doesn't feel like it is that to me. I mean, there are nice things about Twitch, definitely, but I feel like a lot of it loses its impact and its quality if you don't catch it live. There's a lot of things just in terms of quality. I don't find what I do on Twitch to be very high quality. I think, you know, as nice as it is, I want people to be happy when they watch the streams, right? And one thing that makes people happy is me interacting with you and answering questions, and that's all lovely. But on another side of it, I really kind of hate that, and I don't think that I'm ever really that proud of that. I don't think any content where any random in the universe can just butt in and interrupt and say, hey, focus on me instead, via a donation or a sub or a whatever. I don't think that kind of content could ever actually be anything I'm that proud of. I think it's... And that's not that I don't appreciate donations and I don't appreciate messages and I don't appreciate the interaction, but I just think it drags the content itself down. So I think to be, like, proud of streams I do, they would also lose a lot of what makes streams good on Twitch, which is all the interaction and stuff. Do you get what I mean? Like, I like YouTube because if I want to discuss a topic and I wanted to discuss it at length, I can sit there and I can talk academically, dare I say, or, you know, with real attention to detail for 20 minutes, and I can do that. On Twitch, there's this constant pressure and fear that I've got to look back at chat, and I'm like, or someone can just shut me up for a second because they've subbed, and people get genuinely upset and disappointed if you don't notice that instantly. And, you know, so like, there's certain sides of Twitch that I actually don't like, and I don't know whether I am suited to full-time. Because most people come to Twitch for money. That's what it is, I think. I also don't know whether I'm in that category. I don't know whether... I don't really... Oh, okay, hold on. This is a difficult thing, so I'm going to shut up about all this boring conversation now. So anyway... There's Lily. See? Yes, it's from a... Oh, let me see. Well, there you go. It's a potato. I only saw a potato. What? It's from a set selection, although there's quite a variety. That's cool. Okay. That puts me at rest then. You are one of the most noble streamers. Dude, I play an MMO. I don't know what's noble about me. Thank you, though. I appreciate that. That's lovely. Ryux Frostalin as well. Like, for Merciless as well. I'll say for Merciless, this is kind of... It's always horrible. I mean, I think the last time I died on this instance and blamed it on chat, I was genuinely pretty upset. I'm going to go really slowly here. But yeah, I do think the general transition over to Twitch from a lot of people is money related. I mean, there's things I don't like about YouTube too, but I can sort of come to terms with. Like, I wouldn't want to talk about it to bring attention to it too much right now. I need to land a block to get my defender up nice and early, so we'll watch for that in a second. What's my other set? Okay, it's Great Sword. A lot of what happens on YouTube really, like upsets me or whatever. Well, not upsets me. I don't know. The idea of, in real life, going up to people and freely saying, hey, I'm a YouTuber for a living, I think is not something I would be particularly proud of, given how a lot of what that scene actually is. What it means to be successful in some of these scenes isn't stuff I think I'd ever... It's mostly, you know, like, to be successful on YouTube, you really do have to pander to a 13 to 14-year-old demographic, right? And the kind of stuff the paths that leads you down means there's not really much respect in it. I don't think there's much. But you got these are things that you got to come to terms with. It doesn't matter if there's a lot of, like, other stuff on the site you don't agree with. There's also a lot of great stuff on YouTube that you can choose to associate yourself with. It's kind of like saying, oh, I don't want to be an actor in, I don't want to call myself an actor in films because some people make smutty movies. That doesn't mean all movies are smutty. Do you get what I mean? So these are just like little psychological things you've got to sort of ground yourself with. I don't know, I'm proper rambling here, sorry. It's because I'm trying to not die at the same time, so I'm not being very eloquent. We will shatter here in the hopes that the confusion finishes this guy off and we can keep going with the AoEs over here. Luckily, we got a lot of allies, so that's nice. Entertaining children, how horrible. No, it's not children's entertainment though. It's kind of unfettered, unregulated what? It's not like kids shows, really, is it? It's more like how it's what kids want to watch that their parents can't stop them watching, kind of thing. It's like how to be edgy for kids. That's what success is. It's being edgy for kids. That's why they like all the swearing. That's like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to be too judgy about people, but yeah, I don't know what I'm saying. I think YouTubers is such a varied job and people aren't quite used to what it means to be one. So if someone told me, I would be interested, but yeah, it would be odd to hear. Yeah, absolutely. I also have kind of a thing where I feel like I wouldn't ever feel comfortable openly announcing what my... Like, so one thing you guys probably don't know about me is, you know how I'm quite private about my personal life. When it comes to being online, I'm quite, you know, as wood and potatoes, I'm very private, and I don't sort of let you in too much. I sort of hold things at arm's length. I have a kind of very clear separation there. That works both ways for me as a human being. In real life, I really don't like talking about my work. I really don't like talking about this side of me. I don't let... So it kind of goes both ways for me, and I've got different reasons for each... for why that is. But for the real life sort of, you know, not... Like, I wouldn't go to a random party and talk openly about what I do for a living and stuff. And a lot of it comes down to just what people would associate YouTubers as being and stuff. And I feel like unless you've really worked out your identity and what you are and found a lot of success with it, it's not something I'm ever really comfortable... In the 7 years I've been doing it so far, I've never been comfortable about, you know, openly announcing it and stuff. So, you know, there's a lot of little psychological things going on there. None of it's particularly fun to talk about, but it might be interesting too. Hey, WP, I just got my Griffin, man. That's really cool, Charmbreaker. It's cool. Did you feel it was rewarding and exciting? I think it was probably one of the best parts of POF, right? In fact, many of the competition entries that featured Griffin gameplay were rated higher. I'll say that much. Just because I think it's so good for selling the game and people don't realize how extraordinary that gameplay is.
Our leader is in danger.
People just think you turn on a camera and that makes money. I mean, yeah. I mean, I don't blame people. People are extremely derisive of YouTubing as a profession. Extremely so. And I don't blame them. I really don't. Same as people very derisive of people who earn their living through, like, Instagram and stuff as well, you know? Like, these aren't viewed as real professions. They're not... But, you know, we can all think of, like, YouTubers that put in that extra effort and sort of... And again, it's, you know, it's not fair, really, to tar them all with the same brush. It's not, because it's such a varied platform that's capable of hosting so many different styles of shows and people. And that's what you have to console yourself with if you feel a bit alienated from it all. I was an early Griffin tamer. It was a wonderful adventure. An early one. I mean, I feel like a lot of the early ones were just very rushed almost. Was that boss in Vuln there? Okay, I tried to proc a block there, but the blocking was silly because we had our warden rolling, which was obstructing all projectiles anyway. So it was kind of dumb. But we got great damage. I love that Scepter 3 at the moment. It's really bursting hard. It might be because I've been playing a lot of Fresh Air Weaver, but they essentially have this skill, but an Elementalist version that's the fusion of the air auto attack and Phoenix, basically, together, and it feels so good. Alright, he was invulnerable, so now we've destroyed all of his allies.
Forget the scholars. I have the information we need. Get out of here before the reinforcements show up.
Okay. So I believe...
I won't allow harm to come to
Didn't we lose a character here at this point of this instance? Upstairs, don't we fight Risen upstairs, I think. Or am I thinking about one of the Char stories with the amulet that takes place in a similar environment to this?
Make Cormier?
Yeah, to get that 250 gold. See, I sort of just got that as I did the adventure, but I played it really slow. But I distinctly remember getting about 10 gold every time I had to go to one of those NPCs again at the hearts, or whatever the price was for each item at each heart. What was it, 25 gold maybe? And there were 10 of them in total. Maybe it was that. I had the money, like, each time. No to the dredge outside in the snow. Oh, we're done with the instance fully. Okay, alright, fine. Pretty comfortable. Took time to explore and breathe in the atmosphere. How, so if you're still, so whoever that was that said they just got the Griffin, how do you feel about the Path of Fire map population? Because I really have very little understanding of those maps since I played them mostly when POF came out. And I haven't really gone back to them very much at all. I've not even gone back to Istan much. In fact, the more time that passes and I don't go down to Istan, the more sort of, I don't know, off I feel about Guild Wars at the moment. Because, like, it's Istan. Istan was so cool, and, like, I find myself not really that excited about going back there, and that scares me. That worries me. That worries me that, I don't know, it somehow didn't satisfy, and I don't know why that might be. We get the code 17. Whispers or Vigil, guys. Whispers or Vigil. With the code 17. You had to sell half of your collected tier 6 materials for your Griffin. It was worth it. Well, I hope you sold half of each stack, not full stacks. Alright, second was Glitchus there. Glitchus, who said Vigil. So we're doing Vigil this time. Okay, this is actually going to be a pretty tricky decision here. Sword, I'm not sure I care about. The Blood Frenzy is nice, but I don't think it's really going to save my life. Nor do I think it's going to do the damage I want it to do. I think picking up a new scepter might be really good, you know. A level 30 scepter instead of our level 0 one. Triple the damage, get some power and precision on it. I really think that might be a good choice, guys. Oh, no, not that staff. Sorry, what was it? Yeah, here, this. And the lantern. I was letting you guys vote on these before, but this time I'll just make the decision for you. Alright, so that's fine. We forgot the waypoint again. Shit. Oh, no, we didn't. No, we didn't. We were just on the wrong layer. That's fine. You see plenty of people around? That's cool. Maestron says, I also just recently got my Griffin. The population on the maps was still very healthy. How was that balance between bounty trains and other aspects of the game? Hey, Will Hawkins for the Sun Spears. Dude, very cool. I'll tell you what, you've just made me want to change my outfit. We all know what to. Oh, yeah, the best outfit in Guild Wars 2, baby. Green version. All right, we won't do green. We will dye it correctly. Let's see. So we'll go permafrost. What's attacking me that actually really hurt? It's a crazed raptor. Oh, my lordy, 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 lordy. We're not even spending that long in open world right now. If I die, I'm going to be furious. All right, you go away over here. Jesus Christ. Okay. White. And then we want to accent it with red. And I'll go silver satin on the skirt. And we'll go gold. Imperial gold on the helmet up there. Lovely. Look at that. I love the way this looks. It's like a proper new player sort of experience. We've got so much boob jiggle through what presumably should actually be quite a sturdy metallic thing, but that's fine. Alright, look. Minimal clipping as well. Minimal clipping. That's good. WP, it's time to put the permafrost down. So I hear that the new black dye that's in the game might be more dark than Shadow Abyss. Can anyone verify this to me and explain how that's true? Because I may have to do that. That looks so bad. Wow. It looks brilliant, people. Simple.
United in victory.
All right. The Whispers version of this was actually really easy. Destroy the door with the cannon. Oh, what is this skill icon? Ice shot. I do not recognize that from anywhere in Guild Wars 2. Fire and fire grape shot. Grape shot. These look like these should be nautical abilities, really. I mean, it is a cannon, I guess. Which they might have had ship-mounted stuff that they were thinking of. Oh, obstructed by that hill. Are you serious? There we go. It just fires straight up bombs.
Starting to come apart. Another shot. That's almost got it. One more shot. Ambush from beneath us. To arms.
Alright, I remember this. This bit's pretty tricky. It looks a lot lighter with proper settings and textures. It's not darker. Oh, okay, really? I trust you then, Talking Cabbages. I trust you. It's got like a green tint to it, doesn't it? Basically, it's a Zaitan die set. And you guys might think, wow, Corteria overhaul coming? No, no, no. I think it's just they've been going through all the dragons and giving them die sets at the moment. Greatsword's really packing the punches, eh, at the moment? What do you guys think? Jesus. I'm going to triple shatter here just because why not? More stuff to do. Who's applying this weakness? Extremely effective. Okay, let's break these transports. The autos, actually, I mean, these are hitting pretty hard for flat damage, really. The tooltip says they should only do 69, but I'm hitting 140, 203. Does that mean they have some kind of modifier on them that means they take extra damage? Our clones are hitting 2s as well instead of 1s. I wonder what's up with that.
Watch out.
It's not because they're crits. Has a green tin. It shows a good difference on the hat from the hexed outfit. Right, maybe we can have a look at that soon. I'm going to try and pull both the mining suits together and interrupt their spawning as I do it. I got one of them. Okay, that's a double hit there. I'm going to watch for one of them to bow down, and then we'll interrupt with the greatsword again. Mirror image shatter there.
Weapon must be in. Let's find it and destroy.
I'm quite happy with the pressure we're doing here. We only picked inspiration, didn't we? Yeah. The damage isn't too bad. I guess the phantasms are scaling in a way that's stronger than I anticipated. Okay, excavators will never do anything unless they get attacked. So we don't have to worry about that. Here's a ratnik we can deal with quite quickly. Pull him towards us if we can get them both. We actually did get them both. He just got obstructed by that rock, so that's quite nice. That would have been right on the edge of the temporal curtain. Right on the edge. Abyssal sea dye. It's not as dark. It's one of the. It's one of them.
That must be the prototype. Let's smash that.
Oh, it's just that the dye preview isn't quite accurate. Yeah, that is a common thing with the game, certainly. All right, these excavators are going to melee, so we'll just make sure they're all in the warden. Swap straight to greatsword and get the berserker to run through all of them. Because remember, this skill 4 creates this dude, and what he does is when he attacks, he'll cleave through an entire group. So if you pull them all together and then you summon the greatsword guy, you can sort of set up a nice little combo for yourselves. Really simple instance as well there. Very easy, guys. The Mesmer's doing way better than I thought it would. This upsets me. All the hard classes are doing better than I thought they would. I mean, Ellie, we did get wrecked, but I believe chat when we were told that it was actually easy. I guess it just goes to show the depths of how little is there in the story, right? You recently finished a world completion again, and it was honestly so refreshing to fight enemies that do anything too special, dock or block the risen mobs, and everything else was generally easy. Sorry, you're saying you prefer the simplistic combat with mobs you can roll your face against, rather than Heart of Thorns and POF, where they're constantly blinding and evading and moving and teleporting and all of that. The code is 99 Whispers or Priory, guys. 99 Whispers or Priory. Do I play any musical instruments? I do not, but I'm interested in well, I don't know. No, I don't play any, and to be honest with you, I probably never will. I like the idea of picking up piano one day, maybe, but yeah. All right, Whispers 99 from Ryuk. You got wrecked on Ellie because you tried to melee. Yeah, if we'd taken the staff, I'm sure we could have just kited around. I mean, adding a melee-only clause to this challenge, so you can only use weapons with 130 range auto attacks. That would be how we'd determine that, right? So, for example, a Rev with a mace, even though the mace can hit quite far away on the 2 and the 3, it would still be a melee weapon because its auto attack chain is pure auto, right? So that's how you do that. Merciless on pure melee would be, I mean, I genuinely think impossible for a lot. It would just become very binary in that situation, though. I'm not quite sure how you'd ever succeed. I think the challenge would have to change a lot. I think that wouldn't be Merciless anymore, because you'd have to introduce some opportunity for the player to get around it by way of, you know, more RPG choices, like maybe they get consumables or this or that or the other thing. I don't know. Add a no pet or no minion rule. Yeah, I mean, there can be optional rules like that. I had a badge case once, which, you know, you'd wait. The idea of the challenge was to collect all the badges. And there was like a badge for beating each of the orders. There were badges for beating on each of the professions. There was a badge for never using pets. There was a badge for never using bows. Stuff like that. Okay, I've got to be careful with it. Sort of YOLO'd in a bit hard here. So again, they're close together. Watch the Berserker. He runs through them diagonally like so. Just going to shatter there. Looking at the two back and forth, the Abyssal Sea is darker, says Maestron. Yeah, but is that not just in preview? I think that was the point we were saying. It's like playing Warrior. Yeah, I mean, Warrior, this is why I think Warrior is probably really good on Merciless. Like, for a challenge, I think it's probably really hard. Because it's mostly melee options, which are meaty and you know, tight. But the interesting thing about it is its ranged capabilities aren't particularly kite-friendly. So, like, you can kite somewhat with longbow by throwing the longbow F1 and skill 3 behind you. But none of the other abilities, the blind, the pin down, the autos, the skill 2, the fan, you have to face them. So you can only backpedal, right? And then same with rifle. All of it is backpedal damage. So that's profoundly different to, say, engineers throwing grenades behind them and mortars behind them and stuff. It's like a very, very, very big difference in strength with that. So I wonder whether Warrior's a really good class, because even with its ranged options, it's kind of limited with them. Oh, sorry, you meant playing piano is like playing Warrior. Basic. Is it basic? I think piano is beautiful. Anyone know the best way to get ascended gear? Also, getting hero points for POF specs? There's lots of ways to get ascended gear. You can't really talk about it very easily and quickly. I will say one of the competition entries was somebody who made an ascended gear guide for new players. Maybe you want to check that out. I didn't get to clarify what I meant on Ellie difficulty being below Ranger. I meant Ellie is harder than Ranger because Ellie underwater is a nightmare and Ranger's superior downstate. I mentioned Leap Finisher Aura on Flame Axe because I was running Zephyr's Boon, which was Fury and Swiftness, and Conjurer gained Fire Aura on Flame Axe pickup. The healing on Ellie is also ridiculous. The healing was strong, Arseholes, really, even with no healing power investment? What was your source of healing there on just the staff? I knew he was going to hit us there with a reasonable chunk, but I didn't know how much, so I deliberately sort of just sat there because I wanted to see what it would be. And that wasn't too bad. Because we were really threatened by a Norn before, if you remember. Oh, I recall this instance. Right, this was the instance that bugged on us, yeah? We got a thief here, didn't we? Oh, speaking of going full-time on Twitch as well, another thing I really do struggle, and I shouldn't struggle with on Twitch, and it's not the user's fault, But the other thing I really don't enjoy about Twitch is repeating myself and saying the same thing over and over and over again because, you know, someone's just joined a stream. And whenever I talk about this, people seem to get offended, like I'm being rude to them or whatever. I understand it's not an insult to the people who miss it and ask me to repeat myself. It's just the format. I don't like that as a part of the format. But yeah, so somebody just asked, is competition judging done? Yes, it is. We've talked about it a load on the channel, on the stream already today. So that's sort of another reason why I don't know whether I can really imagine myself going super full time with this. Unless I just sort of got used to having an utter disregard for chat interaction. Which maybe is a way to go. I don't know, maybe. A lot of streamers are successful by just ignoring their audience completely, so... I am pretty scared at the moment, by the way. These wolves hit hard. I'm really stuck. Hopefully Vladok keeps taking aggro. If we can pull them all together and get a good warden on a high health wolf, like that one. Oh, he's low, and I've got no real way of healing him. I'll use the defender here, why not? Oh, but they're using Condi damage. Yeah, these are the guys that cast Drake's Breath, aren't they? I remember. Despite utterly not being Drake's. I mean, I suppose the Ellie skill is just Drake's Breath, right? So, how was that obstructed? It wasn't at least obstructed on the guy that I was going through. Okay, that's fine. So this skill only will tick damage on pass-through if it hits its actual target. It's weird. Probably shouldn't be coded like that. Shatter. Keep him away. Piano is the most basic musical instrument. Everyone that plays something has to know how to be piano too. That's what I meant. I would argue the most basic instrument is the metronome. No, or triangle for an actual answer. Some percussion instrument, surely. Clapping doesn't even need any equipment. WP, why don't you set up a bot that posts automatically various things that people ask? For example, competition links, so people can click on that and post your bots. I do, Lily. What are you talking about? That literally exists. Exclamation mark rules. Oh, hello. He was charging something as well. I'm a bit scared of him. He's cool. I wonder what if the devs had some of these to the game that are really big. They'd probably look really good scaled up massively. Like mountain size. He's a very weird creature design. Almost feels quite out of place, really. Nice big shatter. Oh. Alright, that was okay. He hit us right at the end. It's called Ice Render. Cool name for a skill as well. Alright, hello Vladok. Alright, he didn't bug this time. Let's go find air. Wait, sorry, hold on, what? Yeah, she's not in this instance. She'll be back at the Hug the Great. No, she'll be house, won't she? Oh, please, Kappa. What do you mean? What was that in response to? Metronome plays itself. Yeah, I know, that was the joke! That was the joke! Well, not even a joke, that was the observation. I don't know about you Brits, but most of us in America had to play the recorder in elementary school. Why does that sound weird as I say that out loud right now? Oh, is Air actually in the Great Hall? She is in the Great Hall. There are somewhat larger ones in Frostgorge. You know, Guild Wars 1 had a feature where the higher level the enemy, the bigger they were. And that was kind of a fun thing that you could keep an eye on as a minion monster. Your minions, when you summon them as a low level, they are low level, so they're small. But as you get higher and higher level, they get bigger and bigger and bigger. And as you got more modifiers and you bumped your death magic up through consumables and stuff, that was kind of a fun thing to look at. That's not a thing in Guild Wars 2, though. But sometimes they do make, like, enormous Asura just to be bosses so you can see them in Zergs and whatever. We're kind kind of short even compared to air here. I guess because we're the smallest size Norn. In fact, I'll tell you what, we're pretty human sized here. You wouldn't actually be able to tell we're a Norn, would you? Really? Especially if we take off the faux Viking helm. Alright. This is our decision for order. It's going to be a big one. As you all know, Priory's kind of scary. Whispers is annoying with the drinking game, but otherwise might be fun. Vigil, we've seen a ton of, is probably the easiest and fastest and best route to succeed at Merciless. The code, second fastest finger wins, is a 3-digit code. Type out which you want, Vigil, Priory, or Order of Whispers. The code is 128. Looking back through the recent darker colours, there are some that may have been overlooked. Bloodstone Dark Indigo, Bloodstone Dark Violet, and Bloody Red are each as dark or darker on the areas that... God, chat's moving. That are dark compared to the Shadow Abyss. Shadow Abyss's secondary colour is grey, so it doesn't look... So it doesn't have a good contrast between the dark and secondary selections. The Abyssal Sea's dark areas are larger than Shadow Abyss. Interesting. I didn't think they could get so much out of dyes. Alright, so first person was Wargzax. Second was Diakana, who said Vigil. Okay. I like it. So something quite interesting is happening with this vote here, expressly. And that's, I'm sort of seeing what you guys get the most entertainment out of. Whether you really want to see me win. So this is obviously Greatsword. A high level Greatsword is going to be really good for us. What's more important to you? Seeing me win or seeing new content? And it seems like seeing me win is more important to you guys because you're not, you're not voting on these necessarily. Even though we've seen Vigil over and over and over again, you guys want to see the run, right? So that's kind of cool to see because I'm not quite sure where chat would land on that. But very often you're still voting Vigil. Or it's just a couple of people who really want to see the wins are also the fastest fingers. So you're done competition judging. I wanted to ask if you thought you found any new gems hidden in the rough in regards to creators or video styles. Perhaps anything inspiring. Yeah, I did. I mean, I'll be honest. There were an enormous number of entries that would have had significant winning positions if the people who made them were still making content and actually made channels and actually did stuff. Like... It was about growing the scene. So the videos that did well were those that primarily grew the scene. But it was also in large part I wanted to grow the YouTube scene and I wanted to help new creators get on the scene. So I was favoring very heavily anyone new on the scene that was really putting a lot of effort in and making lots of videos and going far. Like these people would all gain significant places. I cannot tell you how many of these hundreds of videos I watched where I was like, this is really cool. Is probably not good enough to win anything, but if they're on the scene making more of this and doing lots of it, and they're becoming a staple in the community, they'll easily be, like, top 10, whatever. And 9 times out of 10, they weren't. They just made the one competition entry and then fucked off. And I've sort of learned a lot about... I don't know, like, again, you guys, it's going to sound like I'm fishing for compliments, whatever. I'm really not. I don't rate my own content very highly. I don't think it's that good. And I'm often quite perplexed as to why, why I ever got anywhere with it. But I think I've learned a lot from this competition that the actual answer to that is because I kept doing stuff. I just kept working. I kept making things. I kept being creative, even on the days where I wasn't feeling particularly creative. I put effort in, long-term effort. And I think I've learned something that most people don't... Well, out of this competition here, and this is in no way to be mean to people who entered the competition. It's lovely, everybody who did. Even just making one video shows having a lot more initiative than most members of the public. But I've sort of learned that a lot of people don't have that in them. They don't sort of have long-term ambition. They'll do the one thing and then that's it. And it was always so disappointing for me to see that, oh, they didn't keep making videos. It's like, I want to give you a winning spot. Please, let me... Oh, never mind. You just didn't do anything after this. Okay, never mind. Like, that happened to me so often, and it was always really, really depressing. But that's not to say there weren't some gems, and there weren't some new people on the scene, and some talent, and that has been nice to see where it exists. Again, I'm not being very explicit about it, because the announcement hasn't actually been made, but yeah. Ice Spike Blast on Waterfield, Healing Ripple. Oh yeah, the blast would be good, definitely. Geyser, Regeneration, Soothing Mists. Oh, so you went Water Specialization. I'm not sure the water auto attack really is going to heal you that much, just because it's a PB AoE and presumably you're trying to keep some form of distance. The ice elemental active, dude, that's a good one. That's actually a really good one. Of everything you just said, the ice elemental active really is very good.
Those treads aren't wasting any time. We'll be overwhelmed by dragon minions if we don't turn off that weapon.
What's my opinion on a permanent extractor? I hear people trying to abuse it by buying weapons with expensive sigils, extracting them, selling them, and rolling for precursors. Do you feel like this is abuse or perfectly fine intended? That's a really good thing, dude. I don't know. Yeah, that's like really... That's a big economic boon, isn't it? To people who have the permanent... I don't know. That feels very anti-Guild Wars to me. That doesn't feel like that's what Guild Wars is supposed to be about. You know, other MMOs are about, oh, grind, 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 get this great luxury that gives you loads of money or gives you loads of, you know, like, take RuneScape, for example. Grind like mad on, you know, one of your skills, and now that your mining or your smithing is high enough, you can make and sell things and get more money, and, you know, it goes up and up and up. The people who spend the most time end up, you know, getting all these big unfair advantages. Guild Wars isn't supposed to be about that. So the idea that if you grind hard enough, you can get the permanent extractor, which unlocks like this massive economic powerhouse to you, that also tampers with the precursor market. I don't think this is a good thing. I think some people might say it's a good thing because it lowers the price of pre's or whatever, but you're allowing a very small section of the most dedicated in the community to monopolize that part of the game. I don't think it's good. I don't think it's Guild Wars. So on that premise, I don't like the idea. But I've only just heard about it based on what you said. I might be misunderstanding the whole topic. I hadn't thought about that. Is that only just something that's recently come to light, by the way? So here we have to be really careful of the mining suit. That animation you just saw he did really hurts. It's a stun and then triple hit. Could have downed me in one. I don't know. We have a little bit more vitality on a Mesmer, so I'm not entirely sure. And certainly if we had the defender out, we would have been fine. But yeah, I'm glad we avoided that. A lot of people thought the competition was a one-time thing, and that's fine, but I mean, I think it was pretty... I mean, there was a lot of information that I sent out with the competition. I mean, this is what I'm scared of when I announce the stuff. I don't really want to go too deep into my reasoning, because I feel like people are just going to attack me, be like, oh, you weren't clear about that as a criteria, and it's like... I can see that sort of coming, and it's a bit upsetting to me. At the end of the day, the ambition is to grow the scene, and nothing will grow the scene more than having lots of new active content creators on the scene. So obviously that's an ambition. Obviously that all goes hand in hand. And I was very clear that I was judging people's hustle and, you know, people who made Reddit threads about their work, people who tagged well, people who engaged in their comments, people who culled away shitty, snobby comments about the game. You know, all of these things counted and majorly counted in my judging. It was not just the content in a vacuum. It was about growing the scene, and everything that someone did in that to that end was judged favorably. And one of the greatest, easiest opportunities people had to be judged favorably was to get active on the scene and take a real interest and be there long term. But most people aren't. Most people didn't do that. They made their one entry and then they left it there. You know, like, because it's been a while since POF came out now, and a lot of people made their entries right as POF released. And the vast majority of them are, oh, hey, I did like a 5-minute production right when Path of Fire came out, and I don't make videos anymore. Or I made a 5-minute production right when Path of Fire came out, and the only other videos I make now are on Overwatch, or are on blah, blah, blah. For what it's worth, I just pulled that example out of my ass. I don't think anyone was in, you know, just did Overwatch stuff. So, you know, I'm not criticizing any specific person there. But it's that sort of thing, and that's disheartening to see, you know. Because they just lose out on a better spot. That's all. You can water or attack the floor. Okay, so attacking the floor, that's an interesting idea. I mean, I can see what you mean. You can still do it while running away. That is pretty nice. Sounds like a very slow, attritive way to get through the game as well, though. Staff, water, we all know it does no damage. But then you got the Flame Axe, which might allow you to sort of dip in and out of DPS stances, shall we will, without compromising too much. It's kind of cool. NA guild missions for Spud 1 are going to be today, guys, by the way. Thanks for announcing that, Will. People were going ham on extracting plus magic find rolling since the day permanent extractors came out. Mystic Forge, sorry, not magic find. Yeah, I missed that. I think that's probably bad for the game. Bad for the idea of the game. There should probably be a thing if you permanent extract something, you shouldn't get Mystic. It shouldn't be able to be forged anymore. But I would guess that the way that items work and the way sort of the database holds that information stuff in Guild Wars, what I just said there is probably actually a nightmare because it would add a ton of new categories of items and stuff. Probably. So the devs might be really, really struggling with that. I don't know. What do you guys think about that? That's an interesting topic. Oh, I'm level 32. Why wouldn't I be able to activate the elite skill? Because I'm on level 30 story. This story, this chapter is chapter 3. It unlocked at level 30. So I can only use stuff that was available at level 30. Because I'm not supposed to be over leveling. The fact I'm level 32 right now is just an accident. It's just a byproduct of playing through the stuff. It doesn't mean I can take advantage of it. When I get to chapter 4, which is level 40, I will. This is a level 30 story step. This is a level 31 utility slot. So I cannot use this because it is higher than the level of the story. How comes we're full? Oh, yeah, because of this, right? Right. Okay. Because we did one of the Awakened events, so our inventory is, like, more flush. I can delete that. Can also delete this dull blade. Okay, amulet. Vigorous. The weapon container, we got to go underwater. I will grab Trident. Just assuming that the ranged option's the better one here. So we get that to cover us for some of the later story. Delete that. And then we go. That's chapter 3 finished. So not too bad there. Alright. So we get our second specialization now. We're going to do a straw poll on this one, guys. Alright. So what do we want to pick up? Domination? Start putting more pressure out? Imagined Burdened Grandmaster, for example? I love the idea of a Grandmaster that affects weapon. One specific weapon. I think that's a really cool idea for Grandmasters. I think all classes should have Grandmasters that are purely about effect. Because Grandmasters are substantial build changes. And the idea of significantly augmenting a single weapon is great. And I think it's really where the trait system should shine. But I don't think Imagined Burden really goes far enough. Add Cripple and Might is just a bit poo, isn't it? But this is a cool idea as a Grandmaster. If this gets retooled, and some of the other classes, like I reckon Warriors should have an Axe Grandmaster. And I reckon basically just take any underutilized weapon on any class right now and give them a Grandmaster that makes it fucking amazing. Anyway, I don't know. It also depends how it's juxtaposed with other stuff, because obviously an Axe Grandmaster might conflict with other powerful damage buffs, in which case it would just feel bad on Warrior, but that's not really the point of my discussion. Anyway, do we want Domination? Which is pretty YOLO. Do we want Dueling? Which is less YOLO. We might be able to take interesting things like Ineptitude, maybe. The 50% health clone trait, I think, is in this line somewhere. Yeah, Desperate Decoy, that's pretty nice. That could save our life. Phantasmal Fury, this is really good for our Greatsword. I mean, we're really seeing here that the Greatsword 4 and the Focus 5 do a lot of damage, so this could buff those. Illusions also massive buffs for these. We get Phantasmal Force. We get a Minor that gives them 15% more damage, I think it is. We reduce their recharge, which I think is really good as well. takes the focus of illusions. Might be really good, guys. Illusions might be the way to go. Even get malicious sorcery, which is kind of an interesting idea. Chaos is kind of defensive. We get PU, Aegis, regen, protection. These are all extremely powerful. Longer stealths help us break away from fights. Chaos is pretty cool. I don't know. They're all pretty cool. So it's up to you guys. There's going to be a link in chat, and all you have to do is click it, and you'll be able to vote on which specialization we go for, and the one with the most votes wins, yeah? This is an important decision because we will be stuck with these lines for the vast majority of the game now, until right at the end where we get our final one. So it's an important decision, all right? And it's in your hands, Twitch chat. So is that going to be domination? Is that going to be dueling? Is that going to be chaos? Or is that going to be illusions? Which is our second specialization? Links in the chat. Gribble Girl says, grow the scene wouldn't work surely if the people don't show they love the game. And don't you show you love the game by still doing things about the game rather than doing it once because you want all the legendaries. Yeah, I mean, exactly. Like, you basically hitting the nail on the head. Like, it's hard because I'm being specific. Let's say, theoretically, you made a Path of Fire trailer that was only, the way it was titled and the way it was structured and formatted and everything, it was only relevant for right as Path of Fire came out. Does that, like, that has a shelf life on it, right? And that's all you do. Did you help grow the scene more or less than someone who did and continues to do build guides for just Guild Wars 2 in general around the launch of Path of Fire and beyond? Who grows the scene more in the long term? You know? Or who it was difficult to judge as well because it's like conceptually, do they grow the more? Is it that they're trying to grow the scene more, or did they grow the scene more? Like, because if you take those two examples, but the trailer got 700,000 views and the profession guides got 70 views per video, well, it's like, okay, one theoretically is a better idea and was better executed, but the other one, actually, the proof is in the pudding, the other one got the views, so who do you favor more? So it was really hard for me as a judge, right? Because you had to figure out where my opinion lied with all of those things. So it was tricky. This is why it's taken fucking ages. Anyway, story might start at 30, but it's progressive as you play. I don't see why you can't use your elite skill as you level up through it. Because it's merciless, and it's supposed to be hard. And it's against the rules. You don't just get freebies because, you know, you don't get to make little exceptions to the rules just because you fancy it. It's merciless. That's the challenge. WP is using additional restriction for this playthrough to make it the challenge that it is. Yup. Alright, here we go. So, what's everybody voted here? Illusions, it looks like. Everybody wants illusions. I think that's a good choice, guys. I think that's a good choice. Actually, Chaos is really close, by the way. Because we don't have a huge amount of votes. Chaos is pretty close. But Illusions is what I see here, so we'll go Illusions. Mesmer's got a bit of a weird thing here where it's got a category of skills called Illusions, and it's got a trait called Illusions. Specialization, sorry, called Illusions. Bit confused, but okay. All right, so I think I'm gonna come up to Phantasmal Force, which is a new Grandmaster, relatively speaking, which just permanently increases the damage that our guys do and gives them might as they strike. Sorry, no. It's whenever they would gain might, they get. Oh, I just saw a really cool combo that I didn't realize existed until now. Check it out. Phantasmal Force. Damage permanently increases whenever they strike foes or whenever they gain might. And the dueling trait, the Grandmaster, sorry, the domination trait, Greatsword. Oh, it's just when clones use the auto. Never mind. That could have been a cool combo though. Phantasmal Force plus domination for illusions. Imagined Burden plus. If they retool Imagined Burden just a little bit, they could really put Greatsword into a pretty devastating place. That could be really fun. I bet a lot of. I mean, they see that synergy really close, right? This was just changed ever so slightly so that it was the phantasms were getting the might as well, or whatever, from the greatsword. Not just the clones using their autos. Anywho, we'll do that. I also think malicious sorcery might be really cool later, but we don't have the points for it right now anyway, so we'll just run that. Let's slot it in. Oh shit. Oh, I did that one level too early. Ha! We did that one chapter too early. All right, well, we can't slot it anyway. So basically what I haven't actually broken the rules there, by the way. No rule has been broken, but I've made it harder for myself because we could have spent those points on a new selection of utilities, which now we don't have the points for. So we could have gone manipulations and got mass invis. We could have done that, but we instead wasted our points getting this line, which we can't even equip. So I did that a whole chapter too early. I'm a dimwit, and hopefully that doesn't punish us. We have to finish this next chapter first. Oh, dear. Ha! All right, well, we'll see, guys. We will see. Hopefully we'll get through this. That's really silly. Oh, well. But again, no rule is broken, so it shouldn't be too bad. You don't think mass invis would be that worth? I think it could save my life more than any of the other elites, and that's what actually is important. I don't know what else you're thinking you'd run. Time Warp I definitely use more frequently. I mean, Moa might be interesting. Moa would be a really interesting experience because it would, like... I don't know. There's a lot of personal story bosses that don't have break bars, and what that means for Moa is you can Moa a ton of the personal story bosses. But Moas might be more scary than the bosses are just regularly. That's not a joke. I'm not saying that in a right way. You remember that raptor that fought us earlier? Do you remember that screech attack? Yeah, that's actually kind of scary. Moas can engage you as well with the 5, and they're like quite fast attackers. I would rather fight a Risen with a slow lumbering hammer, or a Risen abomination or something, than a Moa. I really would, because what you got to understand is the Moa inherits the stats of whatever the actual creature was. So if you Moa an enraged abomination, it's going to be a really dangerous, scary bird that comes flying at you and screeches in your face and insta-downs you. While the abomination is lumbering still, it's slow, it's got easy telegraphs, and you can move around it. So I don't actually know how great Moa would be. I think most of the personal story bosses without break bars, I would rather not gain the cleave of the Moa screech and stuff. I would rather they stay as they are. And then for the break bar ones, we have other ways of getting through those break bars. So I don't know how great Moa would be. I don't think becoming any of these forms is a good idea. I mean, we can slot one of these now, obviously. Do you guys want to get the Misfire Wolf, I guess? Does Snow Leopard still have stealth on it? Yeah, Prowl it's called. Why have they given it an entirely new effect? Prowl. I love these skills. I feel so bad for the Norn. I feel so bad for the Norn. I feel so upset at the way that some of the parts of this game have been handled. Wouldn't it be cool if this was an actual part of the game? Anyway. I don't know. YoWP, how's it feel to finally be free? What do you mean, in terms of videos and stuff? Did you read my tweet? Is that what that is? Or do you mean something else? Yeah, it's old LA. Yeah, like, Moas can... I mean, what's the passive, though? The passive is reduce incoming CCs, isn't it? So that could actually be kind of nice. Like, we get bombed, we get knocked down, we get out of it, we get to a safe place quicker without needing a formal stun break. So Moa might be nice in those terms. Time Warp might be nice for speeding up the strength of our allies. And the slow on opponents might be nice. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it isn't Mass Invis that we run with. I mean, but the cooldown on Mass Invis is nice. I don't know. I just think this will save our life. This is the difference between Rest in Peace run and non-Rest in Peace run. This won't necessarily save our life. This won't necessarily save our life. So surely it's got to be Mass Invis. I know it's got a long cast time before anybody thinks that. But, you know, it's still short enough to get us out. in the event that we realise we've pushed too deep or whatever. That's what she said. Report to General Almora, Soulkeeper, down here. I'm going to start remembering that she wants us in LA instead of the Vigil Keep all the time in a minute. So who wants to watch the cutscene? It would be in English. I guess I want to watch the cutscene. We're going to watch the cutscene. Yeah, you saw the tweet. I'm not totally free yet. There are a few jobs left, but the really well, aside from the actual launching of it, the stressful part is sort of done now. By the way, I still think this instance should still be a part of the level 30 chapter. People are more likely to see the get-together before going into dungeons. But it's not. It's level 40. Sorry, I get the logic of what you're saying, but we don't get to make our own little exceptions like that. It just complicates things. Just go by what the game is dictating you, I think. It doesn't matter anyway because it's non-combat, so I'm not sure why we would need to split hairs over it, unless I'm missing something. We could unlock Signet of Inspiration as well for a bit of swiftness as we wander around in these moments.
Thank you for the warning, General Soulkeeper. I will make sure Queen Jenna receives your news, but I cannot make any promises. The Ebonhawk Treaty is Kryta's only hope for peace with the Char. We cannot withdraw our negotiators, no matter the risk.
With all due respect, Ambassador, it's a damn fool decision.
That's enough, War Master. Thank you, Lady Versa. The Vigil will do our best to keep everyone safe. 6 years ago, a dragon rose in Ascalon. It flew south, killing and corrupting everything in its path. I stood beneath the dragon as it passed overhead. I survived where others did not. All across Tyria, I found others who told of destruction caused by the dragons. Humans in Silvari battling undead that swarmed their shores. Asura driven from their underground cities. Joining together, we gave birth to a mighty organization, the Vigil. We're proud that you have chosen to serve alongside us. Your mentor will be Forg, one of our finest soldiers and the most stalwart Norn I know. He'll teach you to fight with the Vigil. The Vigil was created to fight the dragons, to destroy them before they destroy us. Some must fight so that all may be free. Welcome to the Vigil.
There we go. Lovely. It is a good cutscene. I do enjoy it. It's a nice cutscene. Alright, we're going to go to Samuelson in Ebonhawk now. So that means Queensdale. So that means let's go to the Asura Gate hub. Oh, actually, no. It just unlocks the waypoint instantly, doesn't it? For free-to-play people. You didn't realize the Vigil was so young? Yeah, the Vigil's the newest, man. The Vigil's like super, super fresh and new. On paper, I love the orders. I really think that the devs did super well with the backstory and the setting and the idea of what the orders are. It's just the execution of how they're presented to us in the end, and our actual time with them is just so shoddy and sort of see-through. But yeah, okay, I see. I see, Garu Moon. You said that you weren't trying to change the challenge, you just meant the devs should have moved it to Chapter 30. I agree, actually, 100%, yeah, because the first dungeon is level 30, right? AC story mode. Or is AC story mode lower than that? No, I think it is that. Yeah, so it's kind of weird. It almost solves a separate issue, which is that the dungeon story modes are really overly challenging when you do them level appropriate and gear appropriate. So it sort of encourages players to over level, but that's not the way you do. That's not the way the game should be designed. They should fix the issue of them being overly challenging and outlier experiences, not like rely on this weird sort of artificial sort of method of addressing it. But yeah, I get what you mean. Am I wearing the Sunspur outfit? I am indeed. People said it looked bad earlier, but I'm enjoying it. We were a witch at the start of the stream, but we've changed now. Was that Laranthir? In the cutscene, I don't know. I don't know if I saw him, but yes, he is a member of the Vigils, so I wouldn't be surprised if he was there. He becomes a bigger character later in the core story. And then a bigger one again in Heart of Thorns, obviously. Yeah, Dusty, there are bigger design problems there, obviously. But, you know, it's just a little thing we can discuss. I'm going the wrong way here. I keep forgetting to walk through that alleyway. Level appropriate dungeon challenge, says Marston. I actually really like that idea. Problem, you'd need 5 people who all adhere to it. I'm not sure really how... I mean, only the biggest of nerds among us that are into Guild Wars would be interested in seeing that. But yeah, I'd love to see level appropriate story instance, story dungeons done with like all blues or whatever, or all whites even. Thing is, the balance these days and the elite spec, you could still just like annihilate them if you were going to take it seriously, which you would. Otherwise, what's the point in it? You'd just load up on like Guardians anyway, and you just destroy them all with the crazy crit chance. So I don't really know if it would be as fascinating as we think it would be. And then as the crit chance strength starts sort of evening out, we're just a higher level anyway, and so then the whole premise sort of starts to break down. So I don't know whether it's really as great as it sounds once you actually start to experience it. It would just be like 5 Guardians wrecking the dungeon, and it would feel like a normal dungeon run. It would just be that you're on 5 Guardians. So then it would be like, oh, okay, so we have to ban the Guardians and the Guardian trait. And maybe you could do that. Maybe that would give you a nice idea of what their original... Because I really do think you can find, still buried in Guild Wars 2, with the right traits, the right professions, the right gear, and the right combat levels, in the right dungeon, I really think you can simulate what their early vision for endgame would be in terms of difficulty and combat and stuff. I think you can, and I think you can find it there in Ascalon Catacombs with the right comp and stuff. But again, I think it takes a special kind of Guild Wars 2 enthusiast to orchestrate that. Oh, Fallout Bum, dude, that's so lovely of you. Did we get an Imga? Did we get a little gif on that as well? Some must fight so that all may be free. One of my favorite sayings in this game. 13 out of 10 with legendary contest again. That's super cool, Fallout Bum. Thank you very much. That's really, really generous of you. Thanks. Also, we had a sub apparently earlier. No Sabaeus 7 subbed with Twitch Prime. Thank you, man. We also had Matt Versier everything and Tag Me. All these subs. And Demo 2055. I'm sorry I missed all of you guys. Only one of each class max. Yeah, so stop class stacking. I mean, it's not just Guardian. I think there's some other very strong things that would kind of trivialize it. Like Condi damage as well would be extremely powerful. Even in whites. Well, yeah, probably. For AC at least. Maybe it would hit a nice balance somewhere around CM. But then like a reflect is a reflect. And projectile mitigation is just so OP in that. It doesn't matter what level you are, it's OP. Which is nice for what it's worth. I like that Caudicus Manor is a heavy projectile-based dungeon that you can bring certain tools to the fight and really wreck. But, you know, just sort of the power creep and the availability of some of these things is nuts. Starfelly would skew it too. I don't know whether Starfelly would actually be that great. A level 25 Starfelly playing a level 20 or 30 AC run in story mode. I mean, story AC is really easy anyway. But in all whites, I don't know whether they'd actually be that much of a boon. I mean, you could take deliberately bad builds. You can watch, actually, if people are really interested in this idea, if this has piqued your interest, you can go to my channel. One of the perks of having done videos about this franchise for so long. You can see I produced an Ascalon Catacombs video guide based on launch balance and launch community understanding of the game and whatnot way back. And you can see me trying to beat AC and talking about how difficult it is, and you can get a little bit of the perspective there. But, you know, a lot of the difficulty back then is born from ignorance as well. And that happens with raids as well. This was why it's really easy to play certain wings now, even though at the start it was hard. That's why progression is the only real, you know, sign of being good at the game. Because once everyone else has figured out the strats, it's not really the same experience anymore. But, you know, like, to use the Ascalon Catacombs example, in that video, that one of the Ascalon Catacombs paths, guys, has this burrows encounter, where all these burrows are spawning, and you've got to break them. Because if you don't break them, all these enemies will start flooding out of them, and they'll just snowball and snowball and snowball and snowball. And, actually, I really kind of want to do that on stream with you. I've just thought of something different. But we were trying to break those burrows at launch, trying to do that encounter, but we couldn't do it. It was too hard. It was really challenging. But what makes me smile to look back at these days is I had a thief with me who was playing a dagger thief, and he was trying his best to break the burrows with us, and he was just spamming Death Blossom. Which, this is launch balance, so it was terrible anyway, but it was condi damage, which the burrows were immune to. And he had no... This is, you know, ignorance of being new players as the game just came out. Nobody knew, but, you know, that's worth nothing. He was doing nothing for us. Of course, he had no way of really telling that. But, you know, we were basically trying to foreman the encounter just because we were relying on that skill to break burrows. You can even go into... Today, even with today's power creep, go in there on a dagger thief and try and break the burrows by spamming that skill 3. It will take you a while, even on a level 80 full ascended, fooded up character. So now just imagine, you know, you're only level 29 in greens and whites. And you can just sort of... So, but that's sort of something you can't really emulate here in 2018. Xavier says, so how's the judging going? You know, Xavier, I mentioned you. I was telling you yesterday. This has been a really slow instance. But what I just thought of, guys, there's something I wanted to do. No one's going to remember this. I mentioned this maybe a year ago on a stream that I want to do. That AC instance, I kind of want to go in there on all healers and all tanks and all sustaining classes and just let all of the burrows spawn and let all of the gravelings come out and see how many mobs we can spawn and how many mobs we can spam up, and if the game has like a hard cap on how many gravelings are alive at any one moment. Because I reckon with like some extremely tanky characters that just stand there healing the NPCs and the resonance collectors up, I wonder if you can beat that instance without killing anything, and I wonder how bad it gets. Do you guys want to try that? I'd need 4 of you here in stream right now. I'd need 4 of you to come play that with me. And we would need to be all on like Ventari revs or, you know, healing Ellies with soothing mists and stuff like that. Yeah, like 5. And you'd have like 2 players at each collector and then like 1 in the middle running either side. You can't heal the collectors? Oh, really? Oh, yeah, they're yellow bars. You're right, they are. They're machines, aren't they? So I wonder if there's a way to do it. Do you guys want to try that? Let's see. I'm on NA at the moment. We will do it if we get 4 people from NA. We'll do it if I... So, we'll just put Merciless on hold just for 1 second. I'm going to come in on my Ellie, probably. Because there's lots of bleed as well, and I think the Healing Rain will be nice for that. Not that Ventari Rev can't cleanse too in some ways, but... Also, I think I just got this set up very quickly. So let's see. If we get 4 people who join on my party, we'll try it. But I don't know whether we will get that. I know people are going to need time to log in. So what you're going to want to do is type /join list. That's it. Type that into your chat box in game. And as long as you're on a North American server, you can come and try this with me. Let's see if we can get it going. What should I run? I'll stay Minstrels instead of Magi's. I think that's fine. Soothing Mists. Arcane Resurrections. Probably okay. Yeah, I think this build's fine. Literally, I'm already set up. Except utilities. I'll run this for the Emotes on more incoming guys, I think. Probably. Rebound. Let's see. Can we get... So we need 3 more people. 3 more people. Just bring some kind of big tanky... either solo sustainy or... taunt heavy or Healy heavy character. You have a Nomad Ellie? I mean, yeah, I've got Nomad light gear as well. I'd rather have the healing, though. Oh, Hamato's here. You're watching the stream, Hamato? Okay, that's cool. I haven't spoken to you for ages, dude. WP, what do you think of the Weaver spec? Do you like it? I've really enjoyed playing Fresh Air Weaver Burst in PvP lately. I've really enjoyed. I think it's awesome. But as I mentioned earlier in the stream, even I got a little bit bored of that. Take someone to spam blinds. Actually, good point. Yeah, I'll run Glyph of Storms for the blinds. Because I don't know, if you can't heal the collectors, you'd need, like, quite careful positioning to take aggro of the enemies so that they don't hit them. Or you'd need, like, major blind fields. It's kind of an interesting little project, anyway. If we're running with a healing DH, that would be kind of interesting to see as well. All right, we're looking for 2 more. Come on, NA. 2 more people. Don't let us down, North America. All right, 1 more person. We've got B-Boy. I didn't even notice you were in chat, B-Boy. Just solo sustain is okay. I could try Reaper. I don't think that's a particularly good idea. All right, there you go. NA made it. Good job, NA. And look at this. Lots of mastery points as well. Nearly all of us have got max. I mean, it doesn't mean too much, but it's a sign of at least currently contemporary players. So he might take ages to kill, by the way, because obviously we got no damage, but we will go for it slowly but surely. I'm going to step back a little bit so that he gets stunned on the Dragon Hunter 5 there. Oh, here comes the weakness. B-Boy says, I just got here. It's good to see you, dude. Do you think the ArenaNet will ever implement new weapon types, like 2-hand axes, polearms, spears, crossbows? I think that next expansion, that would be great. There's a couple of big ticket things I think next expansion could do to really invigorate the sales of that expansion. I think a new race, adding Tengu, adding entirely new weapon classes, adding fishing. I think those are 3 very big things. If they all came with a Canthan expansion, I think that would actually reach higher levels of hype than Path of Fire and Heart of Thorns did together. I think, and Heart of Thorns had a lot to be hyped over, with the introduction of raiding, guild halls, which people thought they wanted but didn't in the end, stuff like that. Yeah, no, fishing, seriously, I think there's a certain category of casual MMO player that would really like that. And I don't believe this nonsense a lot of streamers spouse, that the game is a casual game and only ever tried to be a casual game and stuff. It's nonsense. It's untrue. It's garnered a big part of that player base, though, and I think that fishing would sort of help with that. You want a spear for your Mesmer with lots of AoE? Well, you do have one, but you mean above ground, right? All right, it's path P1, isn't it? Or is it P3? I don't remember. Which path is it? Let's see. This is the path where you do the burrows. It's definitely not P2. It's 1 or 3. I don't think it's Flaming Scepters, is it? It's Colossus Rumblus, because Flaming Scepters, the challenge on that one is the other room where the burrows spawn, but there's not many of them. I'm pretty sure it's 3, and 2 other people voted on 3, so let's say it's 3. I could probably turn in-game chat on and people would say. What, B-Boy? Why are you just running a warrior with banners and stuff? Do you know what we're doing, B-Boy? Oh, are you running Shout Hills? No, but you've got a banner. Does B-Boy actually know what we're doing? Because this is not a normal dungeon run. There was a post on Reddit a while back from Lindsay. I think she said her husband, who worked at ArenaNet, kept a document about the ways he would add fishing to the game. I remember that, actually, Benji. You're right. I remember a quote from a dev talking about cooking and how cooking deliberately doesn't have any fish-based foods in it to leave space for fishing later. That would then have, like, cooking integration or whatever. WP, you can change skills in Guild Wars 2, by the way. Really? I can change my skills? How do I do that? So, by the way, I'm favoring Feel the Burn here because it's just a lower cooldown heal. I think this is the way I want to run it. Just mass heals. I can run rice balls and maintenance oils as well. B-Boy says, I don't know what we're doing. If we're doing heals, I can arrange that. Yeah, we're trying to tank the room that's in this dungeon where the burrows spawn. We're trying to see if we can beat the encounter without killing any mobs. So it would be like a 0-kill challenge. Or, no, not killing... Well, yeah, it kind of has to be not killing any mobs. Definitely not killing any burrows, but... I mean, the blind fields and stuff, the Glyph of Storms will put bleeds out and it might kill stuff. I don't know. We're just trying to see if we can... How much that room will fill up, yeah? Just how long you can sustain without actually taking any burrows out. I want to see if there's a hard cap on how many mobs it spawns. The smart thing for the devs to do would be to put a hard cap on there. I always hate it when they're smart, though. I prefer systems to just scale completely out of control and be wild and interesting. So we'll see. All right, the queen's spawning. I just accidentally autoed it while trying to get that cargo ahead. This is going to be brutal. I didn't bring any kind of good break bar damage. Looks like we've got it. I'm going to preemptively drop the 5 because when he starts attacking again, he's going to put weakness on us, and my 5 is going to cleanse it. Also, mass bleed cleanses. You know, we got so much healing. We can probably just stand in the poison fields. Yeah, look at what I'm tanking here. Oh, I can't heal. I've still got that unbound. I'll have to redo that. Hold on. Healing skill. There we go. It's amazing how much damage we've still got. I mean, if that's not a sign that power creep is well out there, I don't know what is. Benji says, there was a post on Reddit about making breakbar damage show as numbers in the screen in the chat log. Ben replied about possibly looking into it. Ben's awesome, isn't he? Ben's a fucking legend. Yeah, that would be cool if they did that. I think, didn't the post suggest green numbers? But green numbers are healing. Maybe blue numbers would work? But yeah, so B-Boy, do you understand? Don't run a regular build. Don't play just a berserker and kill things. When we get to the room, run something that's like super sustainy. Because we're gonna try and not kill anything. Thoughts on Pistol Deadeye? Probably the easiest, most face roll, most enjoyable, comfortable, open world build that exists. Easy 25 might, fury, and quickness. Range damage. Incredible sustain if you run invigorating precision. I mean, what's not to like? I like how Hamato went back into the geyser. What's going on with the traps here, guys? Such an embarrassment. All the geysers, though. That's awesome. Yeah, I love the build. I think it's really good for open world. I think it's really good for story instances. I don't think it matters if it's not competitive in raids. I think it's a good build for PvP at the moment as well, because it's kind of an easy build that has some use in countering all the flavor of the month Scourge players. I think, you know, it's got its place. It's all right. I like it. I like that an elite specialization gave extra use to a previous weapon set. Yeah. I think it's a distinct playstyle. What's not to like? The only people who don't like it are PvPers that get killed by it because they've got no awareness that it's going on, and then they cry and say, oh, these bad players are killing me. But I think simple builds are important for the scene, so... Why do you ask, Yggdrasil? Dodge. Oh my god, I was so dodging that there. I mean, the stream evidence is that I was not. I'm trying to watch out. If you want to get some enjoyment out of the stream right now, I can turn off the text, sorry. You want to watch our health and just see how high or low it sort of goes. I was purely curious. You were on your Pistol Deadeye and you thought you'd pose the question. Yeah, I like it. I really do like it. It's, I've played way more PP Deadeye than actual Rifle Deadeye. I've never played either in PvP, but I've obviously played against a lot because it's kind of a flavor of the monthly thing to do at the moment. Ugh, got hit by that. Okay, so if someone aggroes the spiders, we'll kill them, but let's at least clear this tunnel. So, you see everyone running past? Like, I don't get it. You could kill them in a couple of seconds. Well, in a normal comp. You tried Rifle? I like Rifle. I like its place. It's just, you know, its place is not going to be particularly well suited to the kind of exploration Guild Wars 2 has, where you move very fast and you go on from enemy to enemy. But that's fine, I think. I like that they preserve the playstyle. Where it will shine will be where it shines. Okay, so here's the room. There's going to be burrows that spawn. Our job is to not cleave any burrows. We're going to let them spawn the monsters, and we're going to see if we can sustain the whole way through. There's going to be 2 NPC / buildings, structures to keep alive. One will be here. There'll be essence collectors. One will be there. The other one will be over here, and we've got to keep them up. B-Boy, you need to move deeper in the room so that Zark actually triggers his dialogue. He's just standing there following B-Boy, who doesn't know what's happening, I think, so. How much AP does B-Boy have? Okay. All right. When he finally moves, we can get this show on the road. Also, the sexy-ass Warbringer. There we go. He's moved. All right.
Eternally in death. Think of the concentrated ecto-undeath distillate.
I'm quite excited about this.
Set up ecto-collectors and transmit the undeath essence to my storage unit.
Because, I mean, so if people don't know, Guild Wars 2 in its current state for many years now, this room is like one of the most boring parts of dungeon runs. Because the actual challenge, once upon a time, like I was talking about with the DD thieves and stuff, it was an interesting experience. It was one of these heavy snowball encounters that I think is really fun. If an encounter like this is actually pressuring you, it's a lot of fun. But, since the power creep and people learned a little bit about the game, it's mostly just a really boring time sink because you can kill these burrows like instantly and it just becomes an extremely, you know, slow, lame encounter. If we stand in the middle, can we hold the aggro on the hatchlings in the middle as well? All right, here we go. This is going to be quite good. A more interesting challenge than Merciless. I'm going to keep them chilled. Okay, so we've got 2 burrows up. We got our first elite is on the scene. Okay. I don't want to use, like, Feel the Burn and stuff. I want to cleave the mobs. Alright. So far, so good. Not too many mobs just yet. Usually this burrow would be dead by now. So what we're going to do is watch it and see when the next wave spawns. Another wave should spawn. Alright, now we got this. These are coming to the collector, though. So we gotta aggro these. There you go. We gotta take the hatchlings away from the collector. So we're going to stand like here or something. And then there's that one over there as well. Alright. Alright. These guys aren't doing anything to us. The bleeds apparently just hit for nothing. I'm going to stay stood about here. Oh, this is quite good. Alright. Those ones are spawning. We'll just make sure that they're aggroed on us. Okay. Still feeling okay. Don't you go over there. Alright. Just throwing my autos at my feet here. We're sustaining purely through those right now, plus the Soothing Mist. Okay, 12 bleed. I'm dropping the Healing Rain to get some pulse cleansing. We're still very healthy. All right, here's another burrow. Oh. Come on. I think me positioned here on these stairs is pretty good. I think I'm getting all of them. All right. Still doing okay. No. Get over here. Get away from the collector. Oh, they are being healed up, though. What's healing them? The NPCs? Did they break combat? Oof. Okay, this is starting to hurt now. All right, dodging for splash heals and cleanse through Evasive Arcana. And obviously just stopping them pressuring me. I think a bit of WASD will be nice. Because the mobs... These will be like those jagged horrors, basically. In that the AI is terrible. They stop, stand still, swing, and miss you completely. All right, we're still doing good. Oh, this is too easy, though. So far, we're halfway here. We're halfway. Okay. It looks like after the initial wave from a burrow, nothing else comes out, though. Doesn't it? Alright. Let's get this stalker over. The run's not as full as I thought it would be right now. AC was nerfed as well. The little gravelings used to do more damage. I can imagine, for sure. Oh, this is reminding me of, like, those bugs where you could summon just, like, infinite Sylvan Hounds or, 24 bleed. 24 bleed. Not liking that. Not liking that. Moving just a little bit. Or, actually, Necro had this as well with Rise, if you remember, which was very similar because, again, it was actually Jagged Horrors, which these hatchlings are extremely similar to. Okay. Some of these hatchlings are getting a little bit low. What happens when the encounter ends? Will they just all disappear? Will they all despawn? I wonder if anyone in the history of Guild Wars 2 has done this. World first 0 kill burrow encounter. It's too easy. It's too easy. This should be hell right now. We're 3/4 of the way done. Interestingly, there's a cap on how many elites can spawn. It's only 1 per burrow. Is it now? Okay. So in total, we should only have, you know, well, I don't know, actually. How many burrows total do spawn? No one's even, like, remotely low. Look at this. This is insane. If Wooden Potatoes from 2012, who did that old AC guide, could see this now, what would he think? Come on, get off it. Get off it, man. Attack me. They're literally not even... They're not getting off it now. I don't want to stand too close to it because I don't want accidental cleave damage. There you go. They're getting off slowly. 96%. I think that's everything. I think that's all the burrows now. Yeah, what was that? Way too easy. I wonder if you could do that solo as well then. Pacifist run, baby. Wow. Well, let's finish the path, I guess. Get a little bit of loot. That was way too easy. He'd quit the game knowing the game's power creep. It's just the total abandonment of dungeons. That's the real story here. That's the real story. That was underwhelming. Yeah, a little bit. What else in the game is like that? There's the Char encounter in COF where you've got the assassins, but you'd have to kill the assassins. Unless there was a way of, like, keeping them perma-CC'd away. But juggling... that would be really interesting as a challenge, actually. Keeping all of the assassins alive, but not killing the door guy. He would wonder why he hadn't been kicked out of the dungeon by the group for not being full Zerker. Well, no, listen, Kylan's, the period of time... What I'm actually talking about is before any kind of Zerker meta was even established. I'm talking about, like, very early. And besides, what you have to remember, what a lot of people don't remember as well, is the Zerker meta's initial establishment was really only in association with COF P1 because there was no incentive to do any other path. The maximum gold per hour was doing that one short path over and over and over again. It was preferable to this. I mean, if people knew about doing merged paths, triple paths of AC back then, they probably would have been farming this instead of COF P1. But people didn't understand the game on that level at that point, so... But it was like the 4 warriors, 1 Mesmer comp. That was what it was. Just everyone running that. In COF. Those were some of the earliest experiences. You just came in late. I'm in AC. I didn't know dungeons were a part of the challenge. No, this isn't actually Merciless. We took a quick break from it to try a weird thing that was actually incredibly boring in the end. So there you go. I hope you're enjoying the stream, everyone. I don't know. I like it. I like learning little things like that. It's another little experience now under the belt. Now defend Hodgkins in P1 without killing the burrows and see how many will spawn. Oh, that's an interesting idea. Yeah, let's do that. That's a cool idea. Let's do that. If this party wants to go in and do it again, I'm down for that. So it's just like see how long you can sustain kind of thing. I mean, there is no end point to that one. That will never end if you don't kill the burrows. But I'm game for trying that. Also, aren't there only ever 2 burrows on the field at once? So if that does snowball to ludicrous levels, it will take a long time to. But I like that idea because we can actually keep him alive. Congrats on being able to select the winners for the competition WP. Bet that gave you a good relief. It's almost given me a good relief. Once I've got these last little parts of the project done, I will be, you know, I'll be on cloud 9 really. Can pick up all the other broken pieces of my life. I love this. This is so funny. The sideways, like, sliding across the door. 2012 was about magic find gear and pretending to have Berserker. Good point, man, yeah. MF gear, yeah. He was mostly rocking PVT gear back in 2012, I think, pro. Yeah, like, the earliest opinions, before even the COF stuff established, was that melee damage was too difficult, was impossible, and all melee classes were weak, that range damage was OP, and that PVT gear was the strongest gear. Those were actually some of the earliest informed opinions to sort of appear for Guild Wars. What's going on with the boss icon there with the UI scaling? They obviously quickly withered away as people demonstrated the strength of active mitigation, Aegis, and whatever. But a large chunk of the community still sort of... And you can understand why, though. If you watch Merciless... You can understand why people came out of the personal story and those formative experiences believing in range damage more. Because for the solo experience, quite often it is, you know? It is by far leagues and away stronger than whatever else you're going to have. Who is that got hit there? Where's his body? Oh my god, he's a million miles away. And I just spent my geyser, so I can't res him. He's out. B-boy. Absent-minded mod in chat there, guys. Don't insult him, though, because he can ban you. The game broke when people discovered Fiery Greatsword? Eh. I mean, yeah, it was obviously overpowered, but I think that's a bit of a simplistic way of looking at it. Shit. Oh, I'm a noob, guys. I went downstate. I'm a noob. I'm gonna... Next time I see the AoE field come, I'm gonna vapor into War Master Grasp. Can I vapor, press F on his body, and drop a geyser for us? No, I can't. Alright, well now I fucked the whole thing up. Can I break his break bar with the skill 5? Probably. Yeah, we got it. Nice. Voila. Alright, P1. After the cutscene, and then it's done. That would be really cool if you could initiate a res in vapor form, thus dropping the arcane trait, landing in it, and picking yourself both up. That would be very strong for Ellie. Probably too strong. It'd be a bit like the Heart of Thorns bug with Rebound, where you could rebound a vapor formed Ellie and it would revive them from downstate. Alright, let's get out. Let's try the P1 version of this. Just see how long we can survive. Absent-minded streamer, guys. Don't make fun of him because he'll have B-Boy ban you. What am I absent-minded about? What have I missed? I've been looking at chat quite closely. Chat's moving really slow today. I don't make videos anymore, so all the streams are, like, stinging. Downscape 5 is so OP. Yeah, it is extremely OP. Especially with how it synergizes with sunglasses. You wish you played at the release? I only remember attempting dungeons, then getting kicked. Ha! Why? What dungeon did you get kicked from? What am I looking at? Is this dying in dungeons with a healer? Also, you need to start Vapor when you're rezzing already. What? You need to start the Vapor when you're rezzing already. I don't know what you mean. What gear am I running? This right now is just a minstrel set. Realistically, if you want full proper healer, I'd run Magi's. I'd recommend Magi's. But minstrels is just what I had on, and I didn't know how tanky I'd need to be in addition to Healy for what we just did a second ago. So, are there any stat sets that aren't in the game that you want or think should be? It's a tricky thing to talk about because if you run for like some of the dream, like there's a dream 4-stat combo that would usurp Berserker. It would be power primary, ferocity primary, condition damage, and precision minor. I'm pretty sure that would beat Berserker for a lot of classes that can provide high precision uptime on their own. And, you know, that's exciting in some respects, but it also is kind of anti-Guild Wars in that it's sort of, you know, people didn't even like Viper trumping Sinister, right? Even if Viper was more available to them because it meant they didn't have to do Season 2 stuff and buy Season 2 stuff. So it's always a bit of a mixed bag. It's a weird one. The community's not exactly settled on how they feel about that kind of stuff, I think. I mean, I'd be excited about what I just described there. Alright, so Hodgins. Or Hodgkins, sorry. Bro, I'm still getting kicked from dungeons by pro dudes. I mean, I genuinely think, since the Fractal 40 nerf, I genuinely think if you have 5 players and you're really good at dungeons and you do 3-2 splits where you complete 2 paths at once and you load the others in for free loot using an alt account, I think you could get some major money very quickly from these. Especially if you have some of those recipes that give you... Oh, shit. Especially if you have some of those recipes. What? Why is the queen already up? What happened? Okay, I'm going to use the 5 to rally, and then we're going to get the healing running. Okay, we're vaporing, waiting for the rally. There we go. We got the rally, so now we're going to proc the 5 straight into this. Nobody's downstate. I'm actually going to save the geyser for if another downstate procs. Poor me and Hamato got slammed in the corner there. Spider Queen officially harder than doing that room with no DPS. And we want to be a little bit cautious here. All right, fine. I will break the break bar with a gust here and get some vuln. Okay, we never fully broke it. There you go. All right, lovely. Oh, Yuendo, it's good to see you, man. If you're not playing Monster Hunter right now, you're a casual. Yeah, Monster Hunter World came out, right? I know a lot of people have been excited about that. Naturally, I've missed it because I've been in the wonderful world of 4X, Grand Strategy, Stellaris. They had their Apocalypse story trailer came out as well. Just this week. Yeah, I saw it. See, boom, I saw it. Instantly, I saw it. What can I say? That's how ZZZ dungeons are, right? It means I can actually check the chat. I don't really know why I'm doing this. Chilling them's probably pissed everyone off because they wanted to LOS. Why? Why would B-Boy do that? It's okay, we can res him because the arcane trait's OP. Watch us res B-Boy there. Can you see this? He's up. We just got him, baby. 1200 range. We'll get him again if he goes down up there again. Wargzak says, I love Stellaris. I'm playing Driven as Simulators right now. And Karuna does it as well. I'm glad. I mean, that game's really getting more popular as time goes by. And it's obvious why. It's because they're developing it so well. It's because Paradox are doing so well. And their communication is just amazing. Alright. I'm just going to YOLO through these two traps. If they spawn here, we'll be fine. Okay, we got the chain. And look, I'm going to be such a good friend. I'm even going to give them a swiftness combo field. All right, we can skip Cola. We don't actually need to fight him, so let's just go straight through. Ready? 3, 2, 1, dodge. That was way too early. B-boy. It's okay. Power creep. Power creep. It's amazing. Look at that. Look at that schnaz. Okay, so if people don't understand this room, we're going to have an NPC to heal and keep alive, while burrows spawn in the room and just perpetually spawn enemies. And they do put out a lot of pressure. When you kill a burrow, a new one will spawn. So there will only be 2 here. But yeah, our idea is just to see how many mobs they spawn. So 1 comes there, 1 comes there. Pretty good positioning for the first 2 burrows as well. They're pretty close. This guy using traps is kind of not in the spirit of the challenge at all. So I think that really ruins it. I don't know why he did that. We'll see then. And again, there's lots of CTs here. I wonder if I stand directly on top of that chair, they can still CC me off. Oh, they can. There you go. That's cool. Guess the devs thought about that. I've not seen a second wave spawn from either of these burrows yet. So I guess this is designed that new waves don't spawn unless you kill existing ones, which is kind of amazing. Guild Wars 1 did that a lot. And because of this, it actually led to a lot of cheese. You could sort of cheese these scenarios by one person would gather all the aggro, like a 600 tank, and then they run into the corner and hold them there while everybody just did the rest of the mechanics in freedom. Oh, did that guy just spawn, or did he just roam really far? I guess this encounter is kind of like, it's difficult to do that though, because the second you break one burrow, more will spawn. Oh, that could be an idea. Let's break this burrow from range without killing any mobs. Just very gently, let's break it. I'm not even going to meteor shower. Let's just very gently break that. That should spawn a new burrow and a new wave, surely, right? So there is sort of a maximum number of mobs we could get by whittling all the burrows down to the last couple. Right, because when this dies, what's going to happen to people in chat? The bottom left, there's going to be a new one that spawns down here, and they should run over. So we might be able to get a bit more pressure by breaking that burrow. But we want to break the burrows without killing any hatchlings. If we want max damage on us, which means no fire autos. I'm just trying to go really slowly here and pick my skills very carefully. So Ice Spike. I think probably Air 2's probably got the least chance of cleaving other things. There you go, 360. There you go, it's dead. All right, so you see this down here? What this should mean is more come up now. We'll see. And that also means we can break this burrow, and a new one will spawn in this corner, and more will come as well. That's the idea. That's the theory. It'll be really interesting if breaking a burrow doesn't spawn new ones because the mobs are alive, but... Yeah, look, they're coming, they're coming, they're coming. This is cool. Okay. So we broke that. So we should trigger another wave over there now. Yeah, good, 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 good. Okay. So one of us has to go solo this burrow down here now. I'll go do that. Because it's really far away. So there is an upper limit again. Let me just meteor shower that from here. I don't mind that hatchling walking over to me. That's fine. I can get some autos as long as they don't splash onto him. Obviously, if we had power-based stats, we'd be breaking this a lot quicker. All right. So once we break this, the last one will spawn of this chain. So we can't do any more now. There's going to be one that spawns in this corner, right here. Oh, no, that's when that one over there breaks. It becomes in here. Oh, he died. Hodgins died. Oh, people were dying. Oh, I missed it. Oh, so this one actually... I mean, I don't know what we're doing now. I'm suddenly bored of the idea. Now that Hodgkins died, I'm like, okay, there you go. Maybe that's because I went and I'm some of the healing? Too much has been forgotten. All right, I'll stay with Hodgkins this time. Everybody else can break the burrows. I mean, I can still contribute on this one. It's a common spawning technique because they just reuse the same mobs. Oh, you think, yeah? Like it's literally these mobs respawning kind of thing. The same ones. Is this the turkey room? Myth busted. Actually, the turkey room is near here. I haven't been to the turkey room in years, man. Years. We could go to the turkey room in a second and maybe end the stream up there or something. AC and the earlier ones are fairly easy compared to a raw COE. Yeah, are you talking about story modes? COE story mode's actually brutal. Well, comparatively speaking, anyway. Those inquests, like, do not fuck about. Like, the story mode of COE, I would actually say, is harder than the explorable modes. Okay, I'm staying with Hodgkins. I'm taking the CCs. I should turn this off still. Someone's got to go break that other burrow. Alright, so once this one dies, it was literally this many was enough to fail it for us, right? Before? Because it was at this point now that I went over there, so let's just see what happens. I'm trying to keep him alive. We'll Frost Aura him as well. Giving him Vigor means nothing, but we can pretend he'll dodge. Okay, healing him up. See, if I move away, I almost wonder whether I can... Oh, no, he's getting hurt. He's getting really hurt. Geyser. Oh, I'm getting knocked out. The overloads are not working. The overloads are not working. I can maybe rebound him. Probably he's reboundable. I need a rebound. Oh, no, I never made it. Oh, good. Geysers are down. Wow, look at the cleave I've taken, despite these water fields. Look at that shit. Oh, my God, it's over. It's over because I'm not allowed to rally, right? Oh, this is actually amazing. I'm going to cheese it. I'm going for a rally. Somebody. Anybody. Anybody. No! That's amazing. Alright, well, there you go. This encounter is officially harder than the other one. Officially, 5 bunker meta does not work for this. Could you show that creepy looking unfinished jumping puzzle in AC? You only discovered it 3 years after you started playing, and it's pretty cool to still find hidden places. There's actually a lot of dungeons that have hidden JPs in them. Or like, it seems like the devs had an idea for putting JPs in the dungeons, but just never finished the job. So AC's got a really obvious one. CM has the face room, which became a part of Living World eventually. You know, if they break these next 2 burrows, we can succeed. I kind of want us to succeed now. They're still sustaining, which is nice. And I'm getting res. This is insane. What else was I going to say? Yeah, SE, sorry, has a really, really well hidden JP that you kind of got a map break, and you can easily see interior 3D, but it's really challenging. This is it. Hodgkins is going down, man. He's going down to Chinatown. Yeah, he's dead. It's alright. We can just break the burrows really quickly now. That's cool to see, though. That's interesting. Alright, and let's be quick about it, because people are going to get really bored. Yeah, so there's quite a few. I'll show you the AC one, I guess. Just for some fun. Bit of a weird stream, this. There you have it. Alright, let's try again. Okay, let's nuke him. So we can give B-Boy some might here. And drop another field on it. We can use this in fire. And obviously by aggressing like this, all the Gravelings are on us. Nobody's even stood at Hodgkins right now. So that's good. That's one down. And the first wave essentially cleared. Again, we intercept these guys. Oh. Oh, I should have stayed as well for the Meteor Shower. Not the Meteor Shower's too good since the ICD change. Here, I'll drop a static field just to interrupt them as they, like, try and aggress our guys killing it. And then the air overload is going to be really nice. Finish it off with the 2. A lava font, that's fine. Okay, now this one over here. Don't really know why I did that. Oh, man, we're getting interrupted every time we try and cast that. We should have traded on the stab, but I don't know. There's quite a high frequency of them. Okay, Hodgkins is getting hurt now, so I'm going to heal just while we break the last burrow. Okay, water overload. Trying to get it on him. Oh, you... blinding in the area. I wasn't doing that before, but this time I will. But they're invulnerable for some reason. Oh my god, did he die? No, he didn't die. We succeeded. Okay, good. All right, there you go. So the turkey room is... Hodgkins will open this door. You can waypoint behind it. And then the dungeon wants you to come up here and press F on this. But as you just saw, you can lightning flash or shadow step or whatever. And you grab the scepter from there. But the turkey room is you can keep climbing up here. And then it's like... I mean, it's been so long, guys. It's actually been so long. Then you can go along these, I think it is. I mean, it's such a small little... And then into here. And you walk through the ivy here. You see this? I mean, it is really cool. I wish the game had more of this. And, yeah, there's a ton of turkeys. The turkeys are really weird as well, because they're not actually ambient cleavable mobs anywhere in Guild Wars 2. Ever. Anywhere. But they have them fully... The models here. So I don't really know what's going on. I don't know... why the devs haven't repurposed these for any other... I can't think of anywhere these are used in the game, ever. But they have it. So there's some turkeys in here. This is the turkey room. It's just a little Easter egg room. And then the other Easter egg, if you will, in the dungeon is the JP, which most people are much more familiar with. That doorway there, by the way, is a scriptable door that can open and close, but you never see open or close in any paths. But I think one of the merge routes had something interesting. I need to dodge now. Oh, I know you all enjoyed that. I know I got some serious points for that. Some major nerd cred. So yeah, we gotta go through the other door. I don't want to fight Cola. So I'm going all the way around. I should have taken a left when I went upstairs. What, the turkeys are somewhat creepy, do you think, really? If you could pick one thing or feature we have now to get 2012 young potatoes excited for the future, what would it be? Elite specs, probably. I think some understanding of that side of the game and how the classes would continue to be developed, and that the Chronomancer would be actually realized, and you know, I think a lot of elite specs is extremely exciting on the surface. Here I spawned the ooze, which I really shouldn't have, but I was looking at chat, so sue me. We gotta get Hodgins in this room, and he'll be following a specific member of our party right now, so I just gotta kind of wait. He'll also aggro on those ooze, but yeah, I'll stand here. Yeah, I don't know. I think Elite Specs is probably the best thing you could tell 2012 potatoes of what's upcoming with the game. Some of you guys will be thinking mounts and saying mounts, but I'm not a big mount fan. I mean, I think Guild Wars 2 does mounts really well, and you know, I think they were a boon to the game. But I, as a person, I'm not that excited about them, and actually, I'm a bit salty about what they've done to Corteria. So that's a thing. Also, I think raiding too. I think raiding would really, really... and some of the story directions as well, you know. If I told 2012 Potatoes what the raid stories and Season 3 in total would encompass, the return of the gods, the Messiah stuff, all of that, I think I'd be thrilled. I think you know, when the Silver Waste came out as well, if I heard where the game would be going just after Heart of Thorns and the post Heart of Thorns support, I think all of that stuff's like incredible. So yeah. And you know, the Bastion of the Penitent experience, as I've said before, and I still stand by it, probably one of the greatest experiences I've had in this franchise altogether was my progression through Bastion and doing that and experiencing the story there because of how it all sort of came together. Really, really liked it. I think it's some great content. So I'd probably tell 2012 Potatoes about that as well. That we would get an answer to what happened to Saul and whatnot. Agreed, WP, says Yggdrasil. I'm glad you agreed, dude. Alright, so there we go. We got the 5 Scepter pieces. That's unlocked a waypoint. Well, that will unlock a waypoint as long as somebody stayed to speak to the Hodgins, which someone did, Amelie Amethyst. So I'm out of combat. I'm just waiting now. B-Boy's quit. I guess he's not interested in seeing the amazing jumping puzzle in the lair of the Patriarch, which is where we're going to. Sorry, AC stuff is not part of the challenge, though? What do you mean? You know what's interesting, though? What's exciting is, I imagine 5 years from now, if I'm still deeply covering Guild Wars 2, if they've given me reasons to, and, you know, there's still a big community around it, if there's not some new game that's the new hotness and stuff, what, if this conversation would come again, what I would be thinking of. If you know, I'm on some stream and someone says, hey, WP, what would you tell Path of Fire Potatoes? Something to be excited about. I wonder what that could be. You messed up your app. Oh, sorry. Oh, you were talking about someone else. Oh, okay. Yeah, this isn't Merciless right now. This is just random side nonsense. We're not really doing anything that good or interesting today. We're just chilling out. Okay, so I'm guessing that someone aggroed Hodgins up here, which is the entrance of the room, which is where the breeder and the guy is, which meant that he was fighting and stuck in combat, which meant he wasn't walking to here, which is where you can finally get the dialogue to speak to him to trigger the waypoint, which you just watched happen there. So, I think he got caught in combat. That's why we're waiting for a while. Alright, then we just charge through the tunnels. I've already spawned the ooze, so... Yeah, there you go. They said in chat he's aggroed. Dodge, just in case of traps. That's fine. We avoided that. Stab. Dropping blinds for my allies. Dropping the wall to interrupt these ones. I don't remember the way. It's this way. My wall didn't work. I can throw a heal back on him. Oh, what a great geyser that was. Oh, he vapored out of it. Where is he now? He's here. We get another one, thankfully. And he's up. Static as well to cover us. These guys don't have any mobs that really threaten you at all, so we can just walk. The breeders stand still and just summon hatchlings. Same with the next ones coming up as well. These ones, you literally need no swiftness, no 25% move speed, nothing. This fairly intimidating looking group, you just walk through. You just WASD through. They don't do anything to you. So yeah, this is the boss. I guess we can finish it. Why not? Tears of Ascalon. I might want monk runes at some point. It's the Howling King, so it's not like he's going to drag the ceiling down because the NPC is not there. Oh, I need to dodge that because... How did he fall over even though he has a break bar up? There's the laser beam. I mean, that's a cool idea of a boss fight as well. If this ever got properly retooled, it would be kind of interesting. Basically, mobs spawn and they die in the fires. So you kind of want to fight the boss in the fires to kill the ads as they come in. So there's 2 ways to the JP room. I think the one that the devs want us to take... By the way, I'm playing with fog disabled, so the room probably might look really bad. I don't know. But one of them's up here. So this is the main entrance, I believe is supposed to be the real entrance. Where we see this staircase and we're like, oh, what is this? At the end of the dungeon, what is this? And we climb all the way up. And you can keep going. You can access this legally. I mean, you can access it on any of the paths, depending on how you merge the NPCs. But legally, path 1 and 3, because they both end in the same chamber. And then again, there's the ivy. You can walk through, and you find this special place. Again, there's no jumping puzzle chest. There's no achievement. There's no nothing. It just seems to be something a dev was playing with. Kind of a Raiders of the Lost Ark, Indiana Jones style thing. And can I just point out, at launch, this room was fairly massive feeling. It was very large and like... the game these days, the Heart of Thorns environments, the Path of Fire environments, they're huge. They're so fucking epic. They dwarf it. And so this might not feel very special. But this really, you know, this was a grand, big room. And it was like, oh, God, how do we get through? And basically, the idea is you got to walk very gently across these. Also, this was before gliding. This was before mounts. And so, not that we can use mounts in here anyway, but the perspective of Guild Wars 2 and being high up, like, you'd feel vertigo in here. You don't anymore because you've just become accustomed to high areas and it's just, you know, and jumping puzzles and things. Everyone has great muscle memory for all of that. But this was genuinely a really weird feeling. You're not really going to understand the mindset of players the first time they came in here in 2012 anymore, because so much more of the experience has been kind of power crept to the point you're sort of desensitized to some of these sort of more simplistic things the devs gave us. But yeah, so you have to find the bridges and you would never quite be sure if you were walking in the right area. So the next bridge would be... oh, are we supposed to jump over to that? And then here, yeah, and you can sort of vaguely see the dust. See, so then you got this bridge here. And again, camera settings were much more close in and, you know, with a lower FOV, the room potentially feels bigger and bit more immersive. And again, I think it's much darker in here with fog on, but I've got fog off. So, and then this is the hardest one here, which you can only just vaguely see. And then there you go, you get to the end, but there was never any reward. It seemed like maybe the devs wanted to do something else. Maybe there was going to be something up there. And if you're wondering what happens if you do fall, it's a pit with water in it. And again, it's very, very dark normally, I think, here. And you might think, oh god, well, what do you do here? Well, you can actually swim out. And that's the other entrance, if you will. There's a little sewer pipe. And you get back into the dungeon. Through a vines at the bottom of the wall that you may not have realised was there. Near the staircase up. And, yeah, there was actually a cheesy strat to fight the boss by pulling it towards there. And fight the boss up on the stairs and stuff as well at various points. But yeah, there you go. That's sort of some of the hidden stuff in AC. If you want to learn a lot more of this kind of thing about the game, you might want to look up Guild Wars 2 Did You Know and Guild Wars 2 Mythbusters. Two sort of fairly short-lived series I ran for a while that just sort of disseminated very particular bits of trivia and Easter eggs and known things about the game. It's been a long time since I produced those now, and I think a lot of what the information that those series provided has probably fallen out of common understanding for players. So there might be some fun things in there for you all to see and learn about. But yeah, there you go. That's some of the AC Easter eggs. Thanks to everybody who came in the party here for the weird healing challenge. I think it was kind of curious to have a look at. And yeah, that'll probably be it for the stream, guys. We've been going, you know, 2.5 hours. I usually try to go about this length. But yeah, it was really cool. Thanks for coming, B-Boy. Thanks for coming, Ham, as well. And to everyone else. And yeah, I guess we'll leave it there. Tomorrow I'll be back to Merciless. Also, okay, well, so here's the thing. Once the video announcing the competition winners goes up, number one, we're going to start getting more viewership on streams and things again, because there'll be videos and people will remember that I exist and that Guild Wars 2 exists. But also, I want to dedicate a stream to the competition. So, tomorrow might be Merciless, or it might be all about the competition. I don't know which. It depends on the website, and it depends on this montage and the video that I want to make and all of that other stuff. So, we will see. This is also another rare area of the dungeon, by the way, that's not really utilised. So, we'll see how all of that ends up making us feel. But yeah, that should be that. I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. Thanks very much for all the lovely company. I hope you guys are all good. Thanks for a couple of subs. The donation, Lily, Ewendell. It is not lost on me that you guys are still donating. I'm curious to see which of you will break first. Which of you will end the spree. I'm very curious. And Fallout Bum as well with a £10 donation earlier too. So thanks everybody. I hope you enjoyed yourselves. And we'll be back to Merciless or whatever tomorrow. That looks really ugly back there with no fog. Cheers, guys. Merciless. Somebody asked me if I'm doing a daybreak stream. Yeah, I do want to do one of those as well. When I get back to regular programming, we'll be looking at stuff like that. Story recaps. I know, like, maybe 1 in every 5 people that comes in that's asked me a question is asking for story regurgitation. So we will do that. Anyway, yeah. Catch you guys later.